What do you mean? We're sworn to our
podcast
cause, to helping the
podcast
succeed.
Podcast.
No.
Podcast.
You pick up a
Mike.
and sooner or later you're going to hell. Are you prepared for that?
I am. If the alternative is giving up the
podcast.
I love, I'll take hell.
Listening to Metal Gear Mondays, the greatest Metal Gear podcast ever.
I don't agree with you.
Maybe now's the time to start again. How did you patch into my radio frequency?
Stinks in here. Bad.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, you're listening to Metal Gear Mondays, the Metal Gear podcast that covers all things Metal Gear from top to bottom, left to right, inside and out in pseudo-chronological order. As always, I am your host, Alessio Sommerfield, and this week I'm joined by...
Welcome in. It's Sam Wright.
Hey, Sam. How are you?
Alessio. I'm good.
How? Sorry. Go ahead.
Life's different.
Yeah, I can't quite put my finger on it, but something's just kind of been different lately.
Yeah, just lately. Just lately, though.
Yeah, just Anyway, we went to Portland.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, we went to Portland. Anyway, no. We were invited to the Portland Retro Game Expo, and we went to Portland. Me and Alessio did at the end of September. We went to Portland to go to the Portland. We went to the Portland Game Room, the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, which has been around for a while, but this is the first year they've done panels and like actor signings and stuff. And so we were invited to moderate a panel with the one and only Clarke. Our listeners will know him as Liquid Snake, but we did a whole like career retrospective for him, basically.
Yeah, and Liquid Snake and a million other characters.
Yeah. In the process of getting that organized, we were also invited to moderate a panel for the actors Bethan Walker and Colin Ryan, who play Alice and Alfino Levieur in Final Fantasy XIV, and have since the Heavensward expansion. And we spent most of our weekend with them. We were kind of their handlers and their table folks and helping them out. It was a really, really good time. I had an excellent time at this convention.
And I hated it. No, I'm kidding. I had an amazing time. As I'm sure you will hear in the rest of this episode, just a lot of joy. It was good. I think the Final Fantasy thing, for everybody at home who's listening to this, is probably wondering, why the hell were you guys doing anything Final Fantasy related?
Because in a different universe, we did a Final Fantasy podcast instead of a Metal Gear podcast. And we were communicating with that universe when they asked us to do this.
Yeah, exactly. And likewise, too, when they were like, hey, do you guys know anything about Final Fantasy XIV? I looked at my playtime and my account information, and I was like, oh, have I been playing this game for over a decade? I was like, yeah, I guess we do. Let's do it. Yeah. I don't know. Really, I think Sam and I were just really excited to be a part of whatever they wanted us to be a part of. So
yeah, it was really weird being on a stage with microphone in front of an audience, looking at us,
live reacting to our jokes.
Yeah, well, they liked us apparently.
I know. I had fun.
Just like, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. It was just weird. It was weird though, because it's like when you do podcasts, me and Alessio, not just Metal Gear Mondays, but people who know us from the Geek Time days and stuff, we have been doing podcasts together collectively for close to a decade at this point, if not over a decade. And it's such a different experience doing a podcast because there's an audience when you're doing a podcast, but they can't react to you live. They can't see you. They can't like do anything to you. It's just you and your co-host and a microphone and a wall of nothing. Mm-hmm. Then to do what we do in front of people is a very different experience. And No. We're gonna splice in clips from the panels we did, and you tell us if we did a good job. I thought we did a good job.
Yeah, and I think there's like a full version of the panel video that's going to be made available, I believe, through PRGE's YouTube channel. I'll have to triple check on that. As soon as that is available, I'll just stick it in the episode description. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, so just to kind of preface with how this even came to be, so friend of the show, Alice Chang, works with some of the folks over at PRGE, and sort of apropos of retro gaming, they had been asked, hey, we are trying to assemble some panels. It's our first year doing voice actors. Do you know anyone who maybe has ties to like Metal Gear or some of these other kind of classic PlayStation series? Because it's the PlayStation's such and such anniversary, blah, 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 blah. And Alice was like, oh, like these two dudes, Sam and Alessio, yada, yada, yada. And so I got an email in the middle of the night one night that was just like, I can't remember what the subject line was, but it was just like PRGE. And then it was like first two sentences were like, we'd like to invite you out to PRGE. And I was like, I've heard about PRGE so many times from Retronauts and from
Metal
Watch
Jesus
Out for
Rocks.
Fireballs. And yeah, and I was like, I've always wanted to go. And now I can. And I was like, hell yes, this is excellent.
All three of those people that we mentioned were there, by the way.
They were like actively there while we were there.
Gary Butterfield was there. Jeremy Parrish was there. Metal Jesus Rocks was there. Metal Jesus Rocks walked in like...
I was going to say more like Metal Jesus Walks, dude.
Yeah. This was such a surreal thing, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more as like we cut in here. But I do just want to mention that the last day, which was a Sunday, Alessio and I had stayed up until about 3 a.m, like really perfecting the presentation for Cam.
Oh, that's why that whole day felt weird. I totally forgot that we like had no sleep.
Yeah, so we were just barreling through the day on adrenaline, and the day ended at 5. And so around like 3:30, 4, we were starting to like feel the fact that we had been awake until 3. And there was a llama. A real llama. His name is Caesar, the No Drama Llama, apparently a local celebrity in Portland, who was just there walking around, and all the actors and stuff were having just a ball interacting with and taking pictures and petting and hugging this llama. Cam hugged the llama. Colin and Bethan hugged the llama, and Colin was very taken by the llama. We
Sam and Alessio hugged the llama.
Sam and Alessio hugged the llama. Alex Hill, who you'll hear from soon, hugged the llama. And so if that wasn't weird enough, llama leaves. And then as the day is closing, a man riding a unicycle, playing a bagpipe in a Darth Vader mask, just kind of like rolls in front of the booths we were working and just like starts playing the bagpipes, playing the Star Wars songs on the bagpipes, riding in a circle. And everybody's just like, what the fuck is going on?
Well,
and
keep in mind too that the expo is happening in a convention center, which may as well be an airplane hangar.
Yeah.
So like the acoustics are fucking crazy.
Yeah, we figured that out with the fucking fire alarm, which we will talk about as well.
I forgot about that, yeah.
So just riding in a big old circle, playing the song, and then while he's doing this, out of fucking like from the left side, just into view walks Metal Jesus Rocks, filming him with a tripod. And we're just like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, and moments prior to that, too, Aaron Hansen, aka Ego Raptor, was just like skulking around. So I'm
just
like,
walking around,
a fucking stroke right now.
Yeah, Ego Raptor, Aaron Hansen was walking around in his very comfortable looking like ninja robes, basically. So that was surreal. Metal Jesus is filming, and then Allie, who we will talk about and introduce later, who was one of the volunteers we were acquainted with, very cool person, was filming and taking pictures of this guy. And he like leaps off of the unicycle when
fluid motion, by the way. Very like Speed
one
Racer, the film, last race, finish line, steps out of moving car energy.
Fucking crazy. And Allie is just like cheese and really excited because this is crazy. It's great. Dude takes off the Darth Vader helmet. Man is hot.
Oh yeah, dude.
This is an attractive. This man does not look like who you would expect to be wearing a Darth Vader helmet, riding a unicycle, playing a bagpipe.
Yeah. So Allie turns to look at me and Sam, and she and I lock eyes, and we both do like the fucking sort of poggers face.
Yeah, like soy jack, like whoa, like yeah. It was so very surreal. And yeah, it was just like.
And Cam Clarke was there right behind us the whole time.
Yeah, just standing there, also observing. Fucking wild, bonkers.
Sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I was going to say other Metal Gear Mondays interview / Metal Gear Solid alumnus Paul Eiding was there.
Yep.
We interviewed him.
We did.
So you'll hear that. But we interviewed him very early in the morning after we were up until 3.
Yeah, we were up until 3. We interviewed Paul at 9.
Yeah.
So because
like
they had to be
set up.
Yeah. With like an hour of setup, we found like a cool little corner in the hotel. And it was really nice, and it was a great conversation. We made it through, but like it was just it was like it was a fucking shotgun day. We were just going the entire day.
Yeah. But yeah, so a
cool.
huge thanks here at the front to Alice Chang. Could not have done it without them. And just want to send all the love. We shared some drinks and some food while we were in Portland. It was very nice. But yeah, outside of that, I think, Sam, do we want to walk them through? Oh, really, really quickly.
Uh-oh.
So I want to kick off over the course of this episode. I'm going to catalog everything that should have gone horribly wrong that in fact did not.
What's the opposite? You mentioned this in the interview with Allie, but it's like the opposite of Murphy's Law.
Yeah, I got to see if there's like an actual thing for that. Like, is it someone else's law? 1 second. This is all probably going to get cut out.
Yipram's Law? Is that?
It's just Murphy backwards.
Yipram's Law. It's Yipram's. Yep.
Well, it should be.
The gum you like is going to come back in style.
It should be Wall your rip. Anyway, yes, anything that will go right will go right. So anyway,
so the first thing I do want to mention this now. I Googled opposite of Murphy's Law, and the first thing that pops up is Yipram's Law. It's a Wikipedia page. I'm not even kidding.
You sure it's not an page?
So the first thing is, so PRGE gracious flew us out, put us up in the GAT Regency.
Actually made me turn tricks for the rent. They didn't do that for you?
Oh, I just did that for free. Honestly, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And so I was flying from Ohio. Alessio was flying from Atlanta. I had a connecting flight, so I had to fly from Ohio to Atlanta, right? My connecting flight was Alessio's flight there.
And we did not plan that.
We did not plan that at all. I chose my seat. I think I have like a certain status with Delta, so I was able to choose my seat.
I did.
So
not.
I chose my. Alessio did not. He poor manned it. I chose my seat, and then the day before the flight, when Alessio checked in, it assigned him a seat. It assigned him the seat next to me.
No joke.
Also not planned. So we sat next to each other on the flight, and then as we were leaving, narrowly missed a pretty bad storm.
Yeah, it was. What is it? Helena?
Yeah, it was Helene. I think it is.
Yeah, Helene.
So obviously this one that's going on now is like even worse somehow,
Milton.
but like not Milton, but Helene, the one that was right before.
Well, so on the lead up to all this too, by the way. So I live outside of Atlanta now. And it's my first time going from my house to the airport. And I didn't want to take the single car that me and my wife share. And
if anybody does travel, by the way, Hartsfield Jackson International Airport can get fucked
Yeah,
One
I
of the
mean,
worst airports in the country.
if anybody travels and they go through the United States, chances are that they will have to go to
Mhm.
Hartsfield Jackson. But
Mhm.
fucking awful airport.
Yeah. So
Georgia
Alessia's
Aquarium is fucking awful as well. Logistically, Atlanta, Georgia is just fucking awful
it's a
logistically.
logistical nightmare of a city. Yeah. But just the story that Alessio is about to tell, we just want to highlight how fucking batshit it is that this happened, because Hartsfield is not a good airport at all.
Yeah. So all this stuff's going on. And straight up, I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I get from my house to the airport without spending a shit ton of money, blah, blah, blah. So ultimately I landed on like, oh, I'm just going to use like a rideshare service. So I hit the old Uber button. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. No joke, 20 minutes go by. I still didn't get paired up with anybody. And I was like, fuck, dude. Like, is this going to be awful? And somebody accepts. They come to pick me up. I meet them out front. Yada, yada, yada. Anyway, we're on the interstate. It's about a 20-minute drive to the airport. The entire time that we're on the interstate, this man's check engine light is on. And then while I'm talking to him, I notice that his gas light is also on.
This man is on E, picking up Uber rides.
Not only is he on E, but like the light is fucking on, dude.
Mhm.
And so I'm just like sweating buckets. And again, I didn't shift the conversation this way, but this dude starts talking about like, and it came up organically, so I don't want anybody to think that this guy is like hounding me or anything. But we start talking about like spirituality, like it's the South, so everybody's talking about God, but he's like talking about how, like, you know, if you make yourself open to the universe, in this case he was talking about God, but if you make yourself open, you'll be able to receive, like, and you'll be able to like not stress, because you know that whatever's going to happen is going to be what should have happened, kind of a thing. But we were also talking about how people who sit around and do nothing and expect to be taken care of, that's not okay. Like, you got to meet somewhere in the middle. Like, you have to try to better yourself, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so the whole time we're talking, I'm like, this is the lesson in practice. I am white knuckle gripping my seat and I'm sweating, and I'm like, you know what? Just take the wheel. Like, it's fine. And so we get there, and the crazy part too. So Hartsfield Jackson, again, clusterfuck, horrible fucking airport. They have somehow, in their great wisdom, decided that the arrivals and the departures should be the same place.
Yeah.
The cars go to the same doors, and it's insane. And somehow this fucking angel of an Uber driver drops me off right at the door and pulls away, like, instantly. Like, somehow we cut through the crazy traffic. But as soon as I step in, and keep in mind it's like 5:30 in the morning on a Thursday, the TSA pre-check line is wrapped around the entire perimeter of the airport. It was insane. And somehow I was standing in that line for probably over an hour, and ended up getting to my gate just in time. And me and Sam met up, and we were boarding in 15, 20 minutes. It was crazy.
Yeah. Because meanwhile on my end, I'm set, like, I'm the same way as Alessio is. It's like, I need to be there early. And so I get there early, and I get to the security line, and I'm like, the line is fucking to the door. It's fucking long. I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is miserable. And I hear one of the people like yelling something to like tell people in the crowd, and they're walking closer, and they were just like saying something. I said, what is this line for? Because they were saying something about the line. I said, this is for American blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what about Delta? I was like, Delta's over there. Delta had like 5 people on the standard line. I was like, holy fuck. So I get through very quickly. I get some coffee. I get my 8 a.m. or I get my like 4 a.m. Coke Zero. I'm like living, and I land, and we land late. Like, our plane took off late. We land late to the point where they were just like, if there are people who are going to miss flights, please let them get off first. And I was like, oh shit. So I get off of the plane. They changed our gate like 3 times. And so now I have to walk like clear across the terminal to get to our gate. But I get there with enough time to literally just walk leisurely. So I'm just like, hey, bro, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Can you buy me a breakfast sandwich and I'll pay you back later? And he was like, yeah. So I walk to the gate, get to the gate, see Alessio. I ate a breakfast sandwich and we're just like chatting. This little girl at the gate called me, asked me, or her mom asked me if I was a Ken because I was wearing my I Am Knuff shirt. And she was like, she whispered that to her mom and then was like, I'm nervous. I don't want to ask him because I'm scared. And that was really cute. Then we got on the plane. Alessio played Night in the Woods for a little bit. That was really cool.
Yeah.
On a Steam Deck.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a nice flight, nice and breezy. I don't know why, but I cannot sleep through flights anymore. Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed the trip, and it was off to a really good start. Like Sam and I enjoyed our hotel room. Check-in experience was super nice, super easy.
Super easy. We had lunch with my wife's Nona, who lives in Portland, at the Portland City Grill, which is on the top floor of this building. Beautiful panoramic view of the city and Mount Hood.
Second tallest building in
second
Portland,
tallest building by like 10 feet. Second tallest building in Portland.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Shout out to Uncle Mike for covering that lunch for us. That was very nice of him. And very, very good lunch. Had a good time seeing Nona. She took us on a tour of the town. And that was very fun as well. It was enlightening. It was an iconic, enlightening tour. And
just imagine an older woman
Italian woman.
Yeah, an older Italian woman who lives in a very progressive city, somehow being a perfect amalgam of both of those things. It was very whiplashy. You'd hear a hyper progressive thing, and then your eyebrows would raise, and then she would like curb it, and you're like, oh. But
oh my god.
Anyway, yeah, we were off to a very lovely start.
Yeah, and then we got there on Thursday, so we did all that, and then we had dinner and drinks with Alice, and that was very fun. And it was good to see Alice. That was the first time that I had met them in person. Mm-hmm. Alessio had met them before, but that was the first time I had a chance to meet them in person. It was very cool. That was our Thursday.
Yeah, and then on Friday, I had all this fancy, snazzy, portable podcast equipment that I had assembled. We bought a whole new fucking mixer, and I pulled out all the awesome little dynamic mics and desk stands and monitoring headphones, and we went in, and in order to test it, but also to talk to a longtime friend of ours now, we interviewed friend and listener Alex Hill, and Alex came all the way to Portland from Seattle to hang out. So
all the way from
all the way. I mean, what is it, like 3 hours?
Yeah, it's like a 3-hour drive. He took the bus, the Greyhound, down.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, Alex stayed really close to us, and so we ended up hanging out a lot. But this is us talking for the first time. We are here. We're talking to people from the convention, and we're talking to the one, the only, the legendary Discord lurker, Alex.
Hi, it's me.
I wouldn't say he's a lurker.
That's true.
I'm
That's
the opposite of a lurker.
Deep in there.
I'm addicted to posting.
Yeah. We wanted to talk to Alex a little bit because 1, he made the trip out here to see us, which was nice. 2, we need variety in these interviews.
3,
is that all
we need to test our equipment.
3.
They told me we need to get some young people on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
It's some youthful. We need some
youthful
Zoomer
energy.
vote.
Yeah, we need a younger person to bring the average down of the age on this podcast.
Wow.
But no, so Alex, one of the things I want to talk to you about is because I think in my life I've only been to 2 conventions total.
Oh, really?
No, maybe 3. Yeah, 3. I forgot about one. But I feel like you've been to more. So I wanted to
not that many more. I've been to like 4 or 5.
Oh, okay, word. Have you haven't been to PRGE before though, have you?
No, this is my first time.
Nice. What are you most excited about?
I don't really know what to expect. So I know it's focused on like retro gaming. So I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of like exhibits showing like cool old tech, cool gaming tech that maybe people aren't familiar with. I'm excited to see maybe demos of that.
Hell yeah.
And I'm also interested in just like what kind of vendors there are going to be.
Yeah, I feel like low key, that's like always my favorite part of every convention is just like checking out the wares.
For sure.
How far did you come to the convention?
Not very far. So I live about an hour outside of Seattle. So
dox him.
yeah, my address is 276 Baker Street.
Is that real?
No.
Okay, I was like, fuck, he really is doxing himself.
Sherlock Holmes, right?
Yeah.
So I took a Greyhound to get here just because it was cheaper. I didn't have to drive or whatever. It was about like a 2.5, 3 hour drive.
It's not bad.
No, it was actually fine.
Are you excited to? So we're going to be hosting 2 panels. We probably already talked about that in the intro. Are you excited to check those out? Which one are you most excited for? Hell yeah.
No, yeah, I'm particularly excited for whatever y'all are doing with Cam.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be
super secret surprise.
Yeah,
we haven't told Alex anything about what it's going to be about, except for it is exceedingly stupid. And
yeah,
it's the best thing ever.
I'm very excited to see what that's going to be like.
Yeah, it's very Metal Gear Mondays, the panel. But like,
what I've always dreamed of.
Yeah, but more Phantom Peen episode.
No.
Yeah.
Phantom Peen featuring Cam Clarke.
Oh God.
If we're able to, I'm very excited to potentially check out the Retronauts panel.
Yeah.
And then, because Sweet Boy Gary Butterfield's going to be there. Also, Jeremy Parrish is the saint, patron saint of retro video.
And Jeremy Parrish is hosting his own panel on Sunday, I think.
Oh, nice.
I don't remember about what.
I like his sort of like cataloging every single release in like the Game Boy and like NES and stuff. So yeah, I think he's a really good pick for like retro shit.
For sure.
We did just like accidentally run into Metal Jesus Rocks in the lobby of the hotel.
Yeah.
And we were all like, oh, what do we do?
I was just like, hey, good morning. And then we went about our way.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good. Talk about a niche like starstruck.
Yeah.
I feel like 90% of the population would be like, well, okay.
99% of the
Because I like Metal Jesus Rocks a lot, but like he also does kind of look like a guy.
He is kind of just a dude.
Yeah.
He looks like a metal fan, like a metal.
Yeah, exactly.
Hence the name, I suppose.
Excellent. But
This is exclusively to POD.
Yeah.
I hear
my favorite metal band, POD.
I can't remember her name, but the female kind of co-host that appears on his podcast or on his YouTube channel is running a whole panel on the Wonder Swan.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
excited for
Yeah.
that. Low key Wonder Swan. stan.
Kelsey something? Kelsey
yeah,
Lewin?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
She's also the co-owner of Pink Gorilla in Seattle.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I love Pink Gorilla.
Oh, it's great.
Hell yeah.
I think Pink Gorilla is going to be a vendor there as well.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That's where you found that shitty Dungeon Dice Monsters game, didn't you?
Yeah. So the Japanese GBA copy of Dungeon Dice Monsters, one of the greatest games
Pink
ever made.
Gorilla in Seattle, Washington.
Shout out.
That's amazing.
Shout out Cody. Shout out Kelsey.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, Sam, is there anything else you wanted to ask Alex?
How dare you?
That's valid.
Yeah. If you could answer the accusations, please.
Oh, I guess one thing that I didn't mention is I'm excited to see cosplayers. Those are always fun.
I'm familiar with like going to PAX and going to like anime conventions. I'm familiar with cosplay protocol, but I didn't know for like a retro gaming convention how cosplay heavy this place would be. It seems more of like just a thing you're just into, nothing really you like pop out for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we actually saw last night a bunch of Resident Evil OG cosplayers in the lobby.
Well, yeah, so because the live action cast of Resident Evil is going to be here.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
that.
that.
Everyone who did the live action cutscenes for the original game. That's going to be so sweet.
They got to look like all badass. In fog, smoking a cigarette.
They're going to have their own
one of them to be dressed like Barry holding a sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
No, don't go.
You're almost a general sandwich.
That's in-game cutscenes. I will say one thing fun tonight, and hopefully we can get to go. But they're doing the entire live-action Mortal Kombat cast from the 90s.
Yeah.
Doing a Q&A before a screening of the Mortal Kombat film.
Oh, that's cool.
I think it's at like 7 p.m. So I really want to go to that. I haven't seen that film since I was a kid. The Goro nuts tag is
so
iconic.
They also have the the guy that played Guile in the Street Fighter 2 movie.
Oh,
Hell
that's right.
yeah.
But Alex, thanks so much for taking the creepy invitation to come up to our hotel room.
I literally met them for the first time. They're like, do you want to, Alex, come up to our hotel room? And the vibes were bad.
My boyfriend and I saw you from across the bar.
we like your vibes.
We liked your vibes.
Yeah. We groom our listeners here at Metal Gear Monday.
That's true. I remember that.
That's true. Alex was 5 when he started listening to the podcast.
That's real.
Oh no.
No,
It's not real.
not
I'm not
real.
that old.
I love it here.
You piece of shit. Anyway, we're gonna all put our pants back
Certified lover boys.
on. Cool. Well, this is Metal Gear Mondays signing out from PRGE on day 1,
Let's go.
Friday morning,
Pog.
from foggy Portland. Bye.
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 Wow.
Wow. What an interview.
Yeah, Sam, what do you have to say about meeting? Oh, no, you've met Alex before.
I've met Alex several times. Yeah. I met Alex. The first time I met Alex, it was in Seattle, and we hung out with old Jordan Carroll. Old school listeners will know of Jordan Carroll. And then the second time was also in Seattle, and Cody Coates came out from Utah. He was in Seattle, and we had a good one brain cell day that day. That was very fun. So, but yeah, it was good. It was good to see Alex again. We were joking around because Alex, we were just like, Alex, hang out with us when we're not working at the booths, and he did. And we called him Intern Alex all weekend.
Once we chatted with Alex, we spent the rest of our Friday just kind of walking around the show floor, getting acquainted with everything as far as like the layout, making sure like we had our badges and everything. And then we looked at some local game shops, not GameStops, fuck GameStop.
GameStop. Can I tell you really quick? I went into the GameStop at the mall today, literally today.
Is it one of the retro ones?
No, it's a normal one. And I immediately remembered why I don't go to GameStop anymore.
Dude, it's just, it's awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we went to this, what was it called? Top Shelf Games? Is that what it's called?
So. I think so.
I'm going to look that up super quickly. But Top Shelf Gaming, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Top of the line games. They were
Top of the
line games.
Yeah, we went there. We saw a bunch of cool games. There was a big statue of Big Boss, Naked Snake.
We posed.
We did. Of course we posed. Are you silly? Of course we're going to send it.
Yeah. Yeah, probably need to do some like fun posts. I know we posted some of the like more professional photographs. Shout out to Allie on Instagram, but I will probably upload on the Metal Gear Mondays Instagram some of the like more candid, silly stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, we went to Top of the Line Games and saw some stuff in there. Found out the truth about Tupac.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we found like what was it called? It was like this like DVD we found.
I think it was like Assassination or something.
It was like the assassination of Tupac Shakur or something like crazy.
But it was like in Passion of the Christ font. It was the craziest looking DVD box I've ever seen.
I've got it here. It's Tupac assassination, conspiracy, or revenge. Very cool. Very cool. And then we went around the show floor was very cool. So there were a lot of vendors on Friday, and the whole fucking thing just opened up, doubled in size on Saturday and Sunday. But it was closed off. Half of the convention center had vendors stacked, retro games, art, figures, all kinds of stuff. Then there were pinball machines and old school consoles with games on them that were all like donated to the convention by people. And so it was all free play, like free play pinball, free play video games. Very cool. I would have liked to have spent some more time over there. But yeah, super, super cool show floor on Friday.
Yeah, it was great. Alex, Sam, and I feel like lost each other and then found each other and lost each other over and over and over all Friday.
Well, tell the truth is that whenever I found something that I needed to do that required my attention, whenever I would do something like that, you both walked away from me and left me alone to the point where I had to search for you.
Well, hey, We also were doing the same thing.
Yeah, I stayed with you guys while you were doing things.
Oh, interesting. I was just sort of
Just
following the
floating.
shiny thing most of the time.
Follow the bouncing ball.
Yes. But no, it was a ton of fun. I really liked it. I think some of my favorite stuff was I noticed a lot of the vendors had the same materials, essentially.
Yeah, there's a lot of like stuff that like there was one particular vendor that had all the same stuff that the other vendors had, but they were really expensive comparatively. It was very weird.
Yeah, it was pretty silly. But in general, it seemed like if you wanted to find a certain thing, you could probably find it. You either could find it at multiple vendors at various slightly higher, slightly lower prices, or if you were looking for a certain thing, no one had it. Like those were the modes. But
it was actually really cool too because a couple of places were local shops in Seattle that I used to frequent when I lived there, and so they made the trip down, and so it was really cool to like see those shops again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was cool. And there were even a couple that I even recognized.
Yeah. One of them was the one, so when we did Renton City Retro and Alessio needed something for Cam and David to sign, the shop that we went to for him to find a game at was at the PRGE, which is very cool.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
We ran into Emilio, speaking of...
oh, yeah, that's right. Emilio
Renton City Retro.
Yeah. Super cool guy. I had seen him at New York Comic Con. And then, I feel like all my interactions with him have all been at expos. But no, it was super nice to see old friends and meet some new friends. And a lot of fun stuff. I think this was also the day that we had really started to spend some time with Bethan and Colin a little bit more. Sam and I did a thing, and I'm only saying this because I think in general people should take this into consideration.
Do I know what you're gonna say right now?
No, yeah. I think as soon as we found out that we were going to be moderating for Bethan and Colin, and as soon as we found out that they had locked in and everything, Sam and I reached out to them over Instagram and had a group chat that lasted for like a week or two before the event. I would go so far as to say that the reason the panel went as smoothly as it did, and the reason why the rapport between the four of us was as smooth as it was for the entire weekend was mostly because of that chat.
I would say so.
It just worked really well. And I think moving forward, if we ever end up having to meet somebody in person who we've never met before, I definitely want to do something like that, like way in advance.
Yeah.
But that was super cool.
Yeah, because it was one of those things where it's like we were able to chat with them about like expectations and like what do you want to do and what do you not want to do, and we were able to kind of like break the ice and kind of make sure we have a baseline ahead of time, which was very helpful.
Yeah, it was, and we also like sent them questions ahead of time so they could be thinking about how they wanted to respond, stuff like that.
And they're Colin, Ryan, and Beth and Walker, delightful people. Oh my goodness,
great. Yeah. We were definitely like grabbing meals outside of the expo times and just kind of cutting up and being silly and exploring Portland and
also
Thai, which was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. We went to a Thai restaurant with them for dinner, and Colin was just ordering in Thai. It was very cool.
Yeah, it was super
also
cool.
V, their agent, super stellar dude. Love V.
Yeah, hold on, I've got his business card. So massive shout out. I always forget Valinsky Sylvain. I think it's
that's a Final Fantasy name. That, speaking of Final Fantasy, that is straight up a Final Fantasy name, and that shit's cool.
I feel like this is the kind of name that you would find on a person who has a 50-foot tall painting of themselves above a fireplace in a mansion.
He owns the Clue Mansion.
Valinsky Sylvain.
And this man was like
a Castlevania character.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I would say that. Is that an anagram for something? Quick, let's research.
Let me flip it backwards. But he was there on behalf of Celebrity Talent Booking, who are the sort of live event reps for a lot of voice actors.
And he was like rolling around in a scooter. That man was fucking Tokyo drifting that goddamn thing.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
Straight up.
V's great. And then I found out that V is a film producer and lives in Orlando. And so we started talking shop. I hope he's okay. Actually, I need to text him.
Yeah, we should check in on V. Actually, can we get a
sit rep on V?
Sound off from V, please?
But yeah, so I mean, all of this to say, like, I think Saturday of the two panels, Saturdays was the most like traditional.
Yeah, it was like a traditional Q&A, like let's talk through things, let's ask you questions, answer questions. Very like, from what I can tell, exactly what they wanted. yeah,
for sure. And there was quite a big turnout. As a matter of fact, I would like, I don't know, it's not the first time I've been on a panel, but it's definitely the first time since COVID. And it's definitely the first time like in a completely foreign city with like, other than Sam, like not having anyone I know involved.
Yeah.
And so I was very nervous. And so Sam's in the green room with Bethan and Colin. Also, my Bruce Banner secret is I'm always nervous. Anyway,
that's true.
So Sam was in the green room with Bethan and Colin. They're like having lunch or hanging out or whatever, because both of our panels were at noon. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to go set up technical and make sure the mics are working, which there ended up being an issue, but it was fine. Anyway, make sure the mics were working, make sure that like the visuals were working, et cetera, et cetera. And so as I go, we're in this ballroom and I'm starting to notice that there are people lined up for the entire like perimeter of the lead up. And as I'm walking up, I'm realizing there's not a panel going on, and they're opening the doors and people are coming to sit. And I asked,
these are here for us.
Yeah, I asked the tech guy, I was like, are all these people here for the Final Fantasy panel? And he was like, they are. And I was like, great.
Oh no.
But super sweet people, though. I think everybody had a good time. People came up to us afterwards when they saw us at the booth and said that they had a good time at the panel. So,
as a quick disclaimer, just a heads up, but the recording from the mixer from the panel itself, the PRGE mixer, had a little bit of a buzz to it. So just a heads up, I tried to EQ it out as best I could, but there are still some remnants.
But yeah, here is some of that.
Welcome to PRGE. It feels weird saying that. This is my first time, so hopefully all of you guys are having a great time. I am. My name is Alessio Summerfield. This is Sam Wright. We're going to be moderating this panel, and this is Colin Ryan and Bethan Walker.
Hello.
Oh, are these on? Hello. Hi. How's it going, everyone?
Hi, everyone.
Good to see you all. Yeah, good to see you.
That's it. Bye. Thank you for coming. It's really, really lovely to be here. It's our first time in Portland, so we're having a lovely time.
Well, considering what we're going to be talking about, I wanted to ask you guys, I know we talked a little bit about this when we first started chatting, but I'm super curious, what are you guys' experiences with Final Fantasy, but also like with video games in general? Like, did you have any experience before you came on, or is this all new? I'd love to hear about it.
Okay, I'm going to be really honest. I'm not a gamer. Should I leave? No, I before I auditioned, it was the first video game I'd ever auditioned for, and I'd never played a video game. We were talking about this last night, weren't we, in terms of pitching it right at the audition, you know, because I didn't really know the world that I was entering. So I've learned a lot. My learning curve has been like this. So obviously like dabbled in video games a tiny bit as a kid, but I've never really taken it on. So for me, it's been a real kind of entry into this world, and getting the role, you know, has taught me a lot. I'll tell you that much. You'd played a little bit, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, I always knew of Final Fantasy. I think 2001 when the film came out. What was it called? Spirits Within. Yeah, I remember that coming out. And actually, because I watched the trailer for that a few weeks ago. And I remember at the time when the trailer first came out, I was like, whoa, these graphics are the most realistic thing ever. Then watched it again 2 weeks ago, I was like, what was I thinking? Like, it looks, it looks kind of really basic in this day and age. But yeah, so I knew of Final Fantasy. And as a kid, I played a lot of games as a wee kid. So my first console was is it Nintendo Famicom? Yeah. So I played. I think it was Mario was on that. Space Invade. No, some sort of spacey game. And then we had a PlayStation 1. We played, what was it? Tomb Raider, Spyro the Dragon, things like that. Then we had a PC and we had Doom on that. I loved Doom. That was so cool. I still remember IDKFA, isn't it? That's the code to get your ammo. And then, we even had a PlayStation 2. It's only until like adult years that I stopped playing games. But as a kid, I did play quite a lot, but never Final Fantasy. So yeah, coming into this franchise, I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know what the world was like, or like you say, the tone of it. I had no idea really. So yeah, I've since learned a lot. And I've recently started. Well, I say recently. I've been streaming now for about 5-6 months, I think. So. Yay! Oh, thank you.
Where can people find you on? You're on Twitch?
Yes, that's right. I'm on Twitch. My handle is I am Alphino.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really imaginative, isn't it? So yeah, I've been streaming for like 5 months, a bit sporadically. But yeah, I've got to the end of A Realm Reborn, and so now I'm doing all the patch content.
He's really good at it. Like because there's like streaming, and he's has anyone watched any? Yeah. So he's really good at it in that he does all the voices, and it's just beautiful and easy, and it's very chill. Your vibe is chill, isn't it? Which I love. But he kind of gives it some in terms of character.
I did. Yeah.
He knows.
You posted about it last week or the other week, and I tuned in. Yeah, very chill, very worth watching.
You should tune in. It's fun.
So. You mentioned that you've met and you've built this friendship and everything, and I was wondering, you said that informed how you now read the lines, now that you know each other more closely. What other types of inspirations do you bring into the booth with you when you record? Do you have any like thoughts or like pre-game rituals that you do before to get in the mindset of the characters, or what do you bring in there with you to kind of get hyped up?
Yeah, so I tend to watch a lot of the cutscenes on YouTube just to kind of remind myself of what I sound like, and just to kind of get into the world a bit as well. But in terms of like preparation before I go in the booth, like a vocal warm-up beforehand, I mean, nothing kind of like spiritual or anything like that in terms of that kind of preparation. It's more kind of technical, because it is a very technical exercise doing voice acting. So you have to make sure that you're very well warmed up, that your articulation is on point, because the kind of emotions that these characters have been on means that the voices have to go to kind of extremes. So you have to make sure that your instrument is well warmed so that you can go to those places.
A lot of how now, brown cow. You just
how now, brown cow.
New York.
Unique. Oh, I'm useless at those. I totally agree. It is very, very technical, and actually within one session, we do sessions from 1 hour to 4 or 5 hours, don't we? Possibly longer. And yes, you do have to hit different levels of intensity within your voice. And we're both starting to talk about the longevity of our career and needing to protect our voices, because we both sing and we both do other games, and so we need to really look after our voices long term. The other thing I think is that I've learned to leave my stuff at the door and go in and do. I know we all know this from work, don't we? Sometimes we come in and we're like, kind of carrying carrying what we have outside the door in our real lives. So I'm learning to do that, and sometimes to park what's going on at home or whatever other stuff may be going on with my other work, and sometimes using it. We can use it as fuel as actors. So if we've got a big like ragey scene, we can dig deep and use what we've got. So it's an interesting process, and it depends on the day and what's appropriate. But we're learning, aren't we?
How is it going into the booth, having your accent, but knowing that you have to crank it up and change it to be different? Like, what is it like having to shift your own accent to then do the same accent but fantasy?
Do you have to become super British when you're in the booth?
Yeah, super British.
I mean, we were talking about this morning. So I'm from Birmingham originally, which is in the middle of the UK, in the Midlands, and that accent is very different to the accent that I do for Alphino. So Alphino speaks with an RP accent, which stands for received pronunciation, which is basically like Queen's English, a posh English. So in that sense, yeah, it is kind of cranked up. And also, I suppose that kind of aligns with the tone of the game as well. Because and the writing as well, there's a very kind of almost Shakespearean element to the writing, which lends itself well to that kind of accent. So it's kind of leaning into that kind of more classical tone as well, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the twins are quite close to us. They're not caricatures. You know, I think we were cast because we brought a bit of truth in our. I remember my audition, and I remember them saying, just like cut the acting and just say it. You know, just like say it from your heart, and that's really helped me in terms of accent-wise. My accent is reasonably. I'm Welsh originally, but it's reasonably neutral. But we do have to elevate it, and we're quite mindful of vowels. So when you go in, they'll often play you 2 or 3 lines of the recording you did previously, so to match that. But yeah, I think they're very close to us, Ali and Alfie. And there are characters, of course, who are far bigger and grander in Final Fantasy, which are very, very. Those voices would be very different from the actor's voice. But it's still it's a finite tune, but we do have to tune it.
No, that totally makes sense. Yeah, we were talking ahead of the panel, and we both sort of looked at each other, and we were like, yeah, do they like? I don't know. Like, do you add a little extra spice to the voice? Like, but that's wonderful. Considering the roots of the game and the roots of the company that makes the game and all this other stuff, have either of you ever gone to Japan?
No. Not yet. Neither of us. Not yet. We'd love to. Yeah, we really would like to. And I think it would be very special to go. I think it would be very special.
You should do it.
Okay. Who's going to book a flight for us? No, of course, we'd love to. We'd love to.
There's the Eorzean Cafe, isn't there, which I would love to go to.
I was thinking about food largely when you said that. but yeah, I know Amanda's been, hasn't she? I think, yeah, it would be great.
Still there. Yeah. And Jason.
I hate to turn it away from Final Fantasy, but I would be remiss if I did not ask about Doctor Who, because it is a British institution. I think there may be some crossover in this room potentially. Both of you have done work in Doctor Who. I know Beth, you've done a lot of the audio dramas.
Yeah.
You were in one of the Peter Capaldi episodes. What is it like doing Doctor Who? Because it's been around for such a long time. It's, like I said, it's an institution. What is it like to kind of go in and do that and be a part of that kind of legacy?
So I've done several of the audiobooks and met several of the doctors, and I don't think I really realised the sort of impact that would have on me until the jobs were done and they were all out. And someone came at the last con we did and bought all the CDs with like all the tracks of these Doctor Who's that I've done. But it is an institution. Do you guys know about Doctor Who? I'm assuming so. Just checking. Good. Otherwise they're all like, what are you talking about? Because it is momentous, and it has been going way. We've worked with actors that have careers, decades longer than ours. And it's a privilege to be a part of it. And it is a really fanciful world, and it's a fun world. And I've played loads of different parts, like doctors and all sorts of funny, different psychologists and all sorts of parts. And I did a Torchwood, which is a sort of spin-off of Doctor Who, which was super fun. And I had my head sliced open, and that was great. So, and that was my first ever telly job, actually. I came out of Welsh College. And it was, and even that, just having to deal with the technicality of lots of tubes. And it was very, very, very technical, the scene that I did. And I was rigged with like blood pouches everywhere and had loads of prosthetics on. And so for me, it's always just been an amazing memory. And you did a Doctor Who itself, didn't you?
Yes. I was in an episode called Knock Knock with Peter Capaldi, David Suchet, another British acting legend. Pearl Mackie was the assistant. And Bill, I had an amazing time. And that came at a moment when I had 9 months of nothing, of no acting work whatsoever. no auditions. Like it was like, almost close to kind of doing something else, like giving up acting and doing something else. So when that call came to say that I was cast in Doctor Who, I think I screamed down the phone to my agent. I was over the moon.
Thank God for Doctor Who.
Yeah. And it was just the best experience. Peter Capaldi is the loveliest human. He's just such a down-to-earth, really kind, humble man, so talented. And I learned a lot from working with him. His work ethic. He would come in with like a massive folder of all the episodes of that season. Because usually when you rock up on a TV set, you just come in with the sides, the scenes for that day, but he would come in with the whole series. And he would be like referring back to other episodes to kind of make links and then kind of making notes everywhere. Yeah, he was gorgeous. And like between setups on filming days, he would go out and when we're on location, he'd go out and see fans who had gathered to come and get a peek, and he'd take selfies and things with them. You know, he was very generous with his time. Yeah.
That's great. So I totally lied to everybody in this room. I have one more question. So considering that you guys have done some super storied franchises at this point, Final Fantasy, Doctor Who, pretty big stuff. What's another one that you would like, what's on your like wish list, like number one thing, like what character or world or what have you would you want to do?
It's a tricky one. I'm really excited by games like Elden Ring. I think there's lots of. I mean, we're actors. We like to be versatile, but there are some very very beautiful games out there, and we've been so immersed in Final Fantasy. We do always wonder like what's next. What's next for us? Baldur's Gate. I was thinking about Tracy Walls, who plays Jaheira. There are some amazing parts out there, and we just don't know what's coming. But I love a challenge. I love a challenge, and I'd love to play a villain one day, like a proper villain. Yeah. I know Alize has her moments, doesn't she? But yeah, I'd love to play something really character-led and quite dark. That'd be fun.
I want to see that. So you should do that.
Totally. I'd love to do something in the Marvel Universe or like Star Wars. Peter Parker kind of vibes. I would love to do something like that. Thank you. Yeah. But in terms of like a kind of like dream role, like Richard II, Shakespeare, very different to this, but yeah, that's like an absolute dream role. But as actors, we like the variety and like you say, being challenged and pushed. So yeah, bring it on, whatever it is. Yeah, we're open to it.
Well, you're about to be in Little Shop of Horrors, aren't you?
Oh, yes, I am. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So I'll be playing Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors in a theatre in the UK called Sheffield. So if you find yourself in Sheffield this Christmas, come and say hi. It's selling out already. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm over the moon about that. That is a kind of dream role. So yeah,
that's awesome. Stoked. Congratulations. Before I turn it over to you guys, can we just get a round of applause for these two?
Thank you.
So that was a little portion of the panel we did with Colin and Bethan. It was, like I said, very, very chill, very traditional, very fun. It was great talking to them. Got a lot of really nice answers and insights from them about the process of working in the booth and what it's like to work on a game for such a long time, and even like taking over from people that had done it before you and how that plays. So that was really cool. Following this, we went down to the floor. We had lunch and then we went to the floor. And so we helped Colin and Bethan with their booth, and Alessio was taking payments for signatures and stuff. And I was helping wrangle the line. This is when we met Allie, who was super cool. She was working on helping with the line and taking pictures, and She helped with Can's line.
Just overall cheerleader for the event.
Basically, really kept morale going, quite frankly.
And I don't
not
say
that it was down. Not that it was down. I should clarify. Not the morale was down, but like she was just like hype.
Well, and I definitely don't want to like diminish Allie's role as just like a cheerleader, but like I just need to convey that like it's almost like she was casting an aura of a buff to everyone within 15 feet.
Yeah.
That it's like,
sure.
I don't know. I just felt like I was wide awake anytime I was around her and like smiling like an idiot. So thank you, Allie.
But yeah, so we get down to the booth where they're signing, they're taking pictures, Colin and Beth are, everything's, kind of going. The fire alarm goes off.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah.
It was like after the panel.
Right after the panel. We had been doing it for about maybe 15, 20 minutes and had a pretty decent line. Fire alarm goes off. And so the entire Oregon Convention Center has to evacuate. So we're standing outside with Colin and Beth and Allie. We're just like, was it a prank? What's going on? We found out later that there was actually a fire in the kitchen. So it wasn't like for no reason, thankfully. But they gave the all clear. They let us back in. And then while people were signing and doing stuff for 40 fucking minutes over the intercom.
Like literally 40 minutes. I think it was like 37 minutes and 50 seconds if you want to be technical.
Something like that. Yeah. The alarm was going, may I have your attention? We have been given the all clear. You're free to resume business. Alert. And then like said it in Spanish and just looped over the speakers for 40 minutes to the point that when it finally went off, the entire convention center fucking cheered. It was crazy.
Insane. Yeah.
So that was wild. So that's what we did. We did that until about 5. Alex and myself met up with Alice.
That's right. I forgot about that.
We met up for dinner with Alice Friday night or Saturday night. That was also very fun.
It was a good meal.
Yeah, it was a very good meal. I can't remember where we went. We'll have to ask Alice about that. Very good meal. This was when the fucking initial D Tokyo Drift Uber ride happened.
Right. Yeah. Take me through your perspective because I'm curious. Like, up until you said something, I'm curious about like your take on what the fuck was happening.
Yeah. So I booked this Uber. And we discovered that Alice lived on the way to where we were going. And so we booked it. So, okay, pick us up at the restaurant. The Uber will drop Alice off at their house and then will drop us off at the hotel. And it's supposed to be smooth. So we get in this Uber. I'm in the front seat. Alessio, Alice, and Alex are the A's are in the back seat.
Oh yeah, A squad.
There was a lot of A's around me this weekend. It was Alice, it was Alex, it was Allie, it was Alessio.
And then
a lot
Alice
of A's.
Alfino.
And then Alice and Alfino. Yeah. And then Liquid Snake.
A liquid snake has appeared.
Yeah. So I'm sitting in the front seat. I booked it. So I'm sitting in the front. They're sitting in the back seat. And it was a completely normal ride up to this point. We're cutting up. We're just talking.
Yeah, we clearly we've carried the conversation from the restaurant into the Uber.
Yeah. And he hasn't said anything except for hello. So, which is fine. Like I just want to point this out. If you're a driver, Uber, Lyft, and you are the type of person that says hello and then doesn't speak to me the rest of the ride, you're doing a service for the type of person that I am. Not that I don't want to talk to you, but sometimes I physically can. Anyway. So he said hello, we get in, start driving, and the ride was perfectly normal. And after a certain point, there was a yellow light, and he just pedals to the metal, blitzes through this light, and then he starts driving fucking crazy. This man is swerving in and out of traffic. He is going way over the speed limit. He's taking turns real rough.
The yellow light right before he dropped Alice off.
Yeah, it was right before he dropped Alice off. So he's going crazy.
Yeah, as soon as they got in their apartment, I got a text from them that was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" And I was just like, "Yeah," and then continue.
It's also worth noting that when he hit the metal and blitzed that yellow light, Alessio did like the mom arm to Alex and Alice and was like, "What the fuck?" out loud. So this man knows that at least a portion of this car is freaked the fuck out. So Alice is dropped
my
off.
stomach I could feel behind my spine.
It was really bad. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Alice is dropped off. Alex and Alessio are still in the back seat. I'm in the front seat still. So this man is fucking speeding up really fast. He's like braking hard. He is like swerving. He's taking turns rough. There are lanes in this city that are just parked cars, and he is using those lanes to drive and swerving out when cars are approaching and all this other stuff. So
yeah, it was terrible.
It was very
felt like we were in Drive.
Yeah, it really did.
But
so,
like not in a sexy way.
Yeah, in the way that realistically you would feel if you were in Drive. So he's taking off, and at some point a fucking muscle car who is also fucking doing really dangerous shit pulls up.
Yeah,
swerves from
Dodge
behind
Charger
us.
just fucking rumbles past us.
Yeah, rumbles past us, goes into the turn lane, and when the light turns green, uses the turn lane to speed up around traffic and continue going straight.
As they're going, by the way, like cutting people off as they're fucking driving.
Yeah. So that happens. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then we catch up with this Charger.
Did not expect that, by the way. Like I
did not expect.
Like had been in a different zip code by that point.
Yeah. Catch up to the Charger, and then this motherfucking Uber driver starts racing the guy.
Yeah.
He's like trying to like pace him. And at this point, I'm just like, bro. And I just like, I'm not the type of person who speaks up typically with shit like this, because I'm just like, I just want to get it over with. I'm nervous, blah, blah, blah. But when he started racing this other car, I just said, could we not, please? And as soon as the words left my lips, he was already being like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
this man
clearly knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I really wanted to say something much, much sooner, but also I was not the one paying for the Uber.
Yeah, so you would not have been out of place to say something. I wouldn't have been upset about that. I'm just, but
fucking
like,
nuts, dude.
So I say, could we not? And he apologized, and I said, it is not that serious. And he's like, sorry. And then we get to the hotel, we get out, and then me and Alex and Alessio, we are just like, we can't go inside right now. We walked around the entire convention center before we went back to the hotel.
Yeah, like fucking, my nerves were shot, dude.
Fried. It was nuts.
Yeah. I literally thought at any point we were going to get fucking T-boned or wrapped around a pole. Like it was crazy.
It was fucking crazy. So we made it out of that alive, thankfully. What the fuck?
Yeah. But then we channeled that adrenaline into powering through Cam's fucking presentation
for his panel. We were up until 3:00 in the morning doing that presentation.
Yeah. Sam, I am curious because like in my head, I knew what the Cam panel was going to look like before I started working on it. What were your thoughts as it continued to materialize?
I felt like I was in a fever dream the entire time we were doing that presentation, because we had a bunch of stuff to like add in and fix up and whatever. And anytime one of us had an idea, we were just like, fuck it, put it in. And we were just cackling like jackals because it was so stupid. And we're just like, I hope this translates into the actual level of funniness this is, because this is hilarious right now at 2:45 in the morning. But yeah, we stayed up really late. Now, mind you, on Saturday, I went and I talked to Paul Eiding and reintroduced, because I did that interview with him several years ago.
By the way, was like maybe 100 feet away from where
it was like 4 or 5 booths away. He was very close by. So I went by. Wonderful guy. It was great to meet him in person. Talked to him, reintroduced myself. I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember, but blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh yeah, I remember. And we talked for a little bit. And then I was just like, hey, if you have time during your stay here, would you be willing to do another interview with us? Nothing serious, maybe 30 minutes. And he was like, well, what time? And I was like, well, when do you have? And he says, well, I have to be at the convention center tomorrow at 10. So we could do before the convention. And I said, okay. So we scheduled to meet him. We found a place in the hotel to record, because we were staying at the same hotel. And we were to meet him at 9 to do this interview. We stayed up until 3 a.m., remember?
Oh, yeah.
So Alessio, we were up early. Alessio goes and sets up the mic. I meet Paul in the lobby. We go to the place we were recording, and then had a great interview with Paul. It was really, really nice. It was lovely. It was wholesome. We talked about like his family and like what they did during COVID, and like it was a really, really great interview.
And you can listen to it.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, Paul, thank you for joining us. We very much appreciate your time. Welcome to Portland.
Happy to be here.
Have you been here before? Have you done anything here before?
Not con-wise, just to
visit.
visiting and hanging out, going to the bookstore, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We have friends that moved up here a couple of years ago. I went to I officiated a wedding up in Vancouver.
Okay.
A Halloween wedding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I was dressed as the Grim Reaper.
Oh, good. Yeah. Every wedding needs a Grim Reaper.
Yeah. And what they did was they were dressed as themselves.
Yeah.
And before the service started, they said, "Oh my goodness, someone delivered this gift to them. It was a liquid. It was a blue liquid, and on the card it said, 'This is definitely not poison.'" And they said, "Oh, and have some before your wedding." So they both drank some, and they fell down.
Oh God!
And then what they had, which was actually a lovely idea, they had people come up, and as if they were delivering eulogies to the two of them.
That's amazing. I love that.
That's a really cool idea.
It was really. It was funny, but it was also really wonderful. Some of the things that people said about them. And then I said, well, I don't know if we're going to be able to have the wedding after all. And while that was happening, somebody covered them over with 2 sheets that had 2 big eyes, and the traditional ghost eyes. And they rose up. And then we conducted the ceremony.
That's amazing.
And I am a registered, so it was all legal.
Perfect.
That's crazy.
But anyway, so how did I get to Portland?
Yeah. How you found? Yeah.
And so from there, we drove down to visit friends in Seattle.
Okay.
The whole family, both my daughters and their mates, and my wife and I, it was a family event.
That's awesome.
Drove down, hung out in Portland, visiting some other friends of ours, and then drove all the way back to L.A.
That's awesome. Oh, you drove all the way back from Seattle to L.A.?
From Vancouver.
Oh, wow. Did you do like Pacific Coast Highway?
Yeah.
Sort of. It's gorgeous. My wife and I did like a 10-day L.A. to Seattle drive.
It's amazing.
Phenomenal. Yeah, that's great. That's super cool.
Yeah. And we still like each other. That's
amazing. Incredible.
Yeah.
You mentioned you're talking about Powell's when you talk about that bookstore, right? That big old Powell's.
Yeah.
Oh, how great is that place?
It's a city.
Yeah. It's very unassuming from the outside.
Right.
When you walk in on that one corner, it just looks like just a small little, and then it goes down and up, and there's a coffee shop, and there's just dungeons of books everywhere. It's wonderful.
Yeah, my daughters are major. They're the ones who really forced me into doing a lot more reading than I ever did.
Yeah.
When we played, I coached both of them soccer all the way through school up to U19, and we also traveled, and didn't matter where we were playing. Anytime we traveled, we had to find the bookstore because my daughters wanted to hang out in the bookstore. A lot of the kids would go to the beach.
Yeah.
In between games, we went to bookstores.
That's awesome.
So
it's great. It's a great
everybody knew about Powell's. It's like, okay, you got to go.
Sounds like you raised your kids right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been reading anything good recently? Anything?
Tommy, oh God, what's his name? Tommy Orange. He's a native writer. It's one word. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name.
For the
of
listeners, Paul just held up 2 fingers when he said one word.
Because he has 2 books out.
Okay.
And
Got it.
the new book I have not started yet. My daughter got it for me, but I just finished reading his first book, and it's good man.
Some research.
It was
Tommy Orange.
That's awesome.
I'm going to turn.
I love
this
the
off.
train whistle
It's
ringtone
great.
or text tone, I guess. That's great.
Yeah.
Paul, I wanted to ask you how everything's been going, like with the fan interactions, and I saw you were serving cake at one point yesterday.
Yeah.
Can I get the story behind that?
Yeah, the guy TJ next to me. It happened to be his birthday yesterday, and no one knew until the last minute. And by golly, didn't he go out and buy a cake and have it decorated?
Really big, like honkin' chocolate cake.
Oversweet, chocolate
very
cake.
oversweet. It was, yeah.
Yeah, I looked at him. I said, I don't know if you said it was very sweet, and I looked at it. I said, oh man, I can't. I finished it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course. Because it was very funny because after I got done talking to you, I walked back over to the booth I was helping at, and everybody was just like, "Where did you get cake from?" And I was like, it's over there. They'll probably give
They're
you
giving
some.
it to fans as well. Anybody can have it.
Because
so
the person who was helping you at your booth was just, "Do you want some cake?" And I was like, "Sure."
It was her idea. She went out and got it.
great.
You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
the book is called "They're There." He's got "They're There" and "Wandering Stars" is his new one. So
yeah, it's brilliant writing, and a lot of it takes place. It's leading up to a powwow they had in Oakland years ago, and it's a story of 4 or 5 different Native people who their story of how they got there and what happened.
Yeah.
His writing is just so relevant, and it's also an easy read.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's brilliant. So Tommy
awesome.
Orange.
Yeah, everybody go pick up a copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I guess so today's the last day of the expo. Are you going to be here for the rest of today?
Yeah.
Nice.
I fly out tonight.
Very
so
cool.
I'm here till, I guess we close at
Like
5 or 5:30.
5:30,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
And then they'll get me over to the airport.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you come in on Friday or did you come in earlier?
I came in on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was a 3-day, it's a 3-day convention. And I thought we would be meeting fans all 3 days.
Yeah. So the signings were only Saturday and Sunday. So you just kind of have Friday to do whatever.
Yeah. And why I put myself on a 7:00 in the morning flight, I have no idea on Thursday. You know, a normal person would have come in Thursday night and then been here for Friday, even if they thought it was just, thought it was a 3-day.
Right.
For us. But I guess I wanted to get up at 4:00 in the morning in LA, get up. So I had 2 days of hanging out, which is nice.
It was because I thought it was you. It was very funny because we got here on Thursday as well. And we were at the convention on Friday, kind of scoping it out, seeing what was going on, meeting some people that we were going to be working with. And we were in the big kind of like lobby area. And I'm just like, is that Paul?
What's he doing?
You're just
here?
looking around, just like kind of taking it all in. Just like, I think that's Paul.
Yeah, because what I wanted to do, I wanted to come in and see where we were going to be signing.
Yeah.
I always come early.
Yeah.
I wanted to, check it out. Where are we? If there's time to put my stuff up, do it up early. So, but of course, nothing was set up yet.
Sure. Yeah.
Which nothing was supposed to be set up.
it was a day early.
Overachiever Paul shows up, ready to go.
Yeah. Okay, put me in, coach.
It's really crazy how, because we were there, because you saw how the room looked on Friday.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like small and more packed. And then the
wall was up.
Opened it up.
Yeah.
It's like, it was like 2/3 bigger. It was it was like it was crazy how much larger the space was.
I actually got to go walk through and find someone showed me. I said, "Where are we going to be?" She said, "Well, wait. I think there's a door over here." It was someone who worked at the convention center, and took me, found the door, and came through and saw the empty space. Yeah, so it was like
ghost town.
Yeah, so it was cool.
Did you think they were just going to like stick you in a closet and like not send anybody your way?
Yeah, we're not opening the door for the actors.
How have the fan interactions been?
I was thinking about it. Yesterday I said that at least half of the people on my Facebook page are people that I met at cons or people that like my work.
Yeah.
And we stay connected, as much as possible. I've not been as busy on Facebook as I was for a while. Because now I go to do some stuff on Instagram as well. And I also have a life.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? You have a life outside of the things we consume?
But I love it. And it's happened several times where people that I'd met years past come up and we reconnect.
Yeah.
Or somebody will let me know on Facebook, I'm coming to see you.
That's awesome.
We met in, wherever in Chicago.
Yeah.
At a con. I'm going to come out, It's like, that kind of stuff. There was one guy that he said, we met, I don't know if he said, I don't know if you remember me, but we met, we talked for a long time about something. It was about Metal Gear.
Yeah.
And he said, and you did he looked kind of familiar, but I couldn't remember it really well until he told me that, you did a video shout out to my dad. Because my dad, whatever. And he said, and you did one. And then when he talked about his relationship with his father and how they played together, and his father's the one who got him into Metal Gear, then it's like, okay, it all came back to me. It's like, okay, good. When you talk about relationships, then it's easier for me to remember that kind of stuff. Yeah,
totally.
And that was another one. Yesterday, it was nice because there was a lull.
Yeah.
And there was a young man who was 23 because his father told me he was 23. He and his father were there. Guy with a great beard. And a friend was there. Who they said was there his guard going around. And he wanted a bunch of stuff signed. And it was great because we had time to talk.
Yeah.
I think we were probably hanging out for maybe 15 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Just shooting the breeze and telling them stories that I've never told anyone at a con.
Oh man, we're missing a bunch of exclusives.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They said, "Oh man, this is going to be on the internet, Paul." I said,
"He's all mic'd up." He's like, "We got it."
Right. But it was wonderful. Then the thing that got me more than anything else, and the thing why I wanted to spend time with him, was because it was a father and son.
Yeah.
He said that's how we bonded, and you could tell they were really close.
Yeah,
and their friend was just a gas. He was incredibly funny, had great questions about Metal Gear. He never played Metal Gear.
Oh, nice.
But he knew these guys did.
Yeah.
And they were also Transformers fans and Ben 10 fans. He grew up with Ben 10. So it was like one of those great exchanges of just, talking.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just having a good time.
Do you find that you're very popular with dads? Because I'm sensing a through line with all these stories. Are you like, do you have a big dad fan base?
I don't know. I think the reason I relate to it so well is because I'm close to both my daughters.
Yeah.
It still amazes me that my daughters still think I'm cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm hoping for that. I have a 9-month-old daughter at home.
Oh, man.
And I keep saying to myself, I'm like, be patient. She's going to go through a I hate you dad phase at a certain point, but hopefully we'll be cool for a long time.
Maybe not.
True.
Maybe not. My daughters, we've actually talked, we talk about everything.
Nice.
Anything. I remember when my daughter was 16 years old, she started dating. And I said, baby, I have one rule when you're dating guys. That's it. You just don't touch a male sex organ until daddy dies.
Good rule. That's funny.
Easy to follow. Simple.
Yeah, simple as that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, so we've always been really close. And we did something when they were, as they were growing up from an early age. We have 2 daughters, exact 2 years apart. And we did something called special time. Now, this is for you, Dad.
Nice. Good tip.
Special time is you take it's short amount of time when they're younger, and give them more time when they're older. With us having the one before the second was born, my wife and I both took time just alone, not with both of us there, but I would take the infant or the toddler, and we would do whatever she wanted to do for 10 minutes, whatever. So it was just, she had my total focus. And then later or the next day, my wife would do the same thing. She would have mom's total focus. And then when we had the 2, we would do it with both of them.
That's awesome.
That they would only, they wouldn't be sibling, we've never had sibling rivalry with the two girls.
Wow.
Because we gave them
both focused, dedicated time individually, and they got to choose what they wanted to do.
Yeah, that sounds super important.
It wasn't dad, saying, oh, let's go to a movie.
Yeah.
No, it's what they want to do. Of course, within reason.
Right.
We're not going to jump off on an airplane when they're 10 years old.
Can we rob a bank? Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Let's kill somebody, Dad.
Wholesome activities, right?
Yeah. Anyway, and I really think, because just last year, my younger daughter, who's now a stand-up comedian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My younger daughter came to me and she said, hey, Dad, can we have special time? Oh. I said, are you kidding me? It's like, God, yeah, of course we can have special time.
Right.
So it's that kind of thing. Yeah, it's just so.
Yeah. I mean,
let them be the focus.
I think it's super important to hear that, especially these days when it's like we're all like, there's always a phone nearby, and there's always this urge to, I got to check an email or whatever. Right. You know what I mean? And so I think, hearing that, I'm definitely going to take that with me from here. I appreciate that. I don't know if you guys were close or not, but Christopher Randolph wanted me to say hello to you from him. So some Metal Gear family hellos.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. It was great to see him in July.
Oh, yeah. So we wanted to ask a little bit about that. I know I don't want to take up too much time, but just to kind of loop it back to Metal Gear, MGS Con, I teach a film program in July every year to teenagers. So I've not been able to go to MGS Con. So like, I just want to hear it from the horse's mouth, from you. Like, what is it like?
Because you're the first person we've interviewed since MGS Con started. So how was that? Like, how did that experience go?
I missed the first one last year.
Okay.
Because I was in Washington doing a con. I had already committed to it, and I won't. I won't renege at the last minute.
Yeah.
But this year, it rocked.
That's awesome.
It just rocked. And I'll be honest, I wasn't sure if a total. And now I've done a lot of Transformer-centric cons, and I didn't know if it was really going to work the way it did.
Yeah,
they did a great job putting it together, and. I don't know how many of us there were, 16 or more.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, it's really smart having it in LA because it's almost everybody's there anyway.
Exactly. So. Yeah. And that's what they do with the TF Con when they do Transformers cons. The biggest ones are in LA. Yeah. They'll have 25, 30 people involved with the G1 and the new ones,
Saves money on logistics too for the event. So they don't have to fly everybody out.
Yeah. But it was like, I think I thought they were expecting like 700 people.
Right.
And I think it was like closer to 1,000 that showed up.
Nice. That's awesome.
And it was heaven, man.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It was so cool.
Well, it was outer heaven, but yeah.
Well done. Life is too short. not to have fun.
Absolutely.
You know, and you got to pick your battles and all that stuff, things that you're upset about. I know somebody sent me a thing about another game called Evil Zone. Did I mention it to you?
I don't think so.
There's a game called Evil Zone. And the guys, they sent me this, they said there's a review of this game Evil Zone that you did. And these guys on YouTube just rip it apart.
Oh, no.
So I went and watched it. They were hilarious. They were hilarious.
That's awesome.
And at one point they said, "Oh, Paul Eiding, Colonel Campbell must be so sad right now," because what they wanted was a character that was way over the top.
Yeah,
got it.
You know, the guy's got brandishes a huge sword, and he's this great, huge-looking guy, and everything is, "Oh, you think you can beat me?" Sorry, did I peek it?
No, you're good. It was great.
And it's like, but the way they reviewed it, so I wrote and I said, "Man," I said, "Great job! You made me laugh."
That's awesome.
You know, it's like, like, and the actor does what the directors and the producers want you to do.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. I was like, and I kept asking, "You really? This is what you want? You really?"
Are you sure?
And I guess it fits the game because
Right.
people come up to it and just loved it because
That's awesome.
Amazing.
You know, that's the type of game it is.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to promote? Is there anything you want to say?
Anything coming up?
What do I have? Nothing I can talk about.
Okay.
Oh,
I've got 2 games that should be coming out next year, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
That I can't talk about.
Okay.
And I've got no appearances set up right now.
Any promoters listening, go ahead and start trying to book Paul.
I am available. Except in October, because I'm going to Ireland in October.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Just for fun.
Have you been before?
Oh, I've been so many times.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
We have an Irish family.
Oh, nice.
We met these folks in 1978.
Whoa.
Went back in 1980. They had a working dairy farm that B&B. We fell in love with the family. They fell in love with us. They had a 12-year-old son. And we went back several times. And then we told him whenever he got married, we were coming to his wedding. And he got married when my daughters were 5 and 7.
Oh, wow.
We flew over for the wedding. They've come over and stayed with us.
Yeah.
And then when my daughter got married 2 years ago, they all came over.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Flew over for the wedding. So we're
going to see that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Ireland's beautiful.
Oh,
my goodness.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. I
Paul,
would love to go back.
You live such a beautiful life. Like, I didn't expect to get a little emotional this morning, but I'm just like, thank you so much. Like, yeah, very lovely.
My pleasure, man. It's really great to see you guys again.
Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Wonderful conversation. Seriously, I think, depending on how the edit goes, which I'm sure it's going to be hard to avoid, I may have just let out of the bag that I am a dad.
Yeah.
So as a dad talking to another dad.
That's a new thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so sweet. I'm a girl dad.
Girl dad. Girl boss.
Dude, girl dads rock. It is weird.
Who run the world? Girl dad. Who run this mother? Girl dad.
Yeah, until the girls are old enough.
Until the girls can run the world, girl dad run the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And for maybe non-obvious reasons, I'm going to keep the kids stuff kind of close to the chest, just because I love you listeners, but in general, statistically speaking, there are some fucking weirdos on the internet. So anyway,
not you.
Whoever you are listening right now, it's probably not you.
Probably not.
It might be, but probably
it might
not.
be you. Statistically speaking,
yes.
Never mind.
But anyway, so as some dads, me, Paul, and Sam are going to start a podcast called Two Dads and Sam.
Yeah. I did get married at an intervening time, so that's something.
Oh fuck yeah, that's right. Yes, intervening. What do you mean by that? Every time Paul's been involved, dad has come up in some form or fashion.
Well, I think the concept they talked about of the special time, where it was just like pick a time and dedicate that time specifically to your child, and within reason, let them pick what they want to do. Just be game for that and make sure that time for them is special. I think that is a really great idea. As a non-parent, I think that is like a excellent idea.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like brought that home to my wife and was like, Paul Eiding is a fucking sage father. But yeah, so I don't know, just real special guy. It was super fun. Anytime we talk to him, I really love his sense of humor. I don't know if it translates well via audio, but just like Paul is so fucking sharp, and also just somehow managed to say the thing that you are nervous people are going to say every time, but laugh about it. It's so funny, dude. It's like he's
legitimately one of the sharpest dudes I've ever spoken to.
Yeah,
like he's so cool. Yeah. So we love Paul.
Sam, do you want to add the addendum that came up with Dead Zone? Is that what it's called?
Evil Zone. There is a game that he mentioned this in the interview. There's a game called Evil Zone.
Fucking sick name, by the way.
Sick name, but it is a fighting game that is infamous for its voice acting, because all of the actors are just very like boisterous and loud and overacted in a lot of ways. And Paul played a character in Evil Zone. And so fast forwarding to tomorrow, to Sunday, the day a little bit, I was working at the booth, so I texted Alex and I was like, Alex, can you find me a copy of Evil Zone? And he was like, yeah, I'm on it. And he found me a copy. He bought it for me. I paid him back. He bought it for me. And then I took it over to Paul to sign. He was just like, where did you find this? And it was very funny. So I got Paul Eiding to sign a copy of Evil Zone for me.
We work fast, y'all. I think the interview with Paul was a really good way to open that day. Definitely had me feeling right. And then we had another interview with somebody right after that. But before we get into that, because the interview is probably going to parlay directly into the panel, I just want to set the scene, since you guys are only going to be able to hear it. And this is kind of how I pitched it to Sam. I used to do this thing when I lived in St. Louis, where I would make a really intentionally shitty, very quickly thrown together, but yet has its own style guide.
There's a lot of preamble for this idea.
Yeah, shitty PowerPoint trivia, essentially. And we would do it with a group of friends at my house, and it would be really silly. And
they heard the Factivia episode. They know.
Yeah. But I
just like that.
Yeah. It's just I like to weave in like visual stupidity as well. And so a lot of Cam's panel is that. So effectively, it's a fake game show, grilling Cam about all of his past roles. The joke being that Cam's done so many voices, he can't remember any of them. And so, yeah, we just fucking leaned all in. As Sam mentioned, it was a fever dream. Your boys bet bold, and the bet paid off. So
we interviewed Cam privately, and they got us a room and everything to talk to him right before the panel. So
like,
you're going to hear
right next to
literally. We did it in the room, and then they let us take like the back like staff corridor, literally down the hall to the panel, the panel room, the auditorium. And so interviewed Cam, packed up all of our stuff. Alessio introduced. I walked Cam out, and it was really, really cool. During the panel and during the interview, before we lead into this, I want to mention Cam mentioned a book that he is doing about the King family. His family, they've been in show business for years, and they had television shows on various networks and all this stuff. And he mentioned a coffee table book that he was hoping to put out this year. And as luck would have it, the day that we're recording this, he officially announced it. So true to our word, we mentioned in the interview that we would talk about it when he announced it. But true to our word, the book is called Now They're All Here, Over 100 Years of Entertainment from America's First Family of Song by Cam Clarke. And it's a coffee table book. There's pictures and history about the family and all this other stuff. And it's very cool. If you would like to get it, we will put the link to it in the show notes. But you could probably just Google that. If you go to rarebirdlit.com, rarebirdlit.com, it's actually on the front page.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
And Cam does a really good job of pitching the book in the interview.
Very much so. Very much.
Yeah, one last thing really quickly before we jump in. I just think it's really, really special that as we were walking with Cam from the convention or from the hotel to the convention center that morning, he essentially had sort of asked like, hey, like unlike Bethan and Colin, we actually didn't really give Cam any heads up whatsoever. Like, I mean, Cam and I texted a little bit whenever he locked in for the show, but nothing too crazy. He saw the pitch that I sent to PRGE for the style and approved it. But as we were walking up, he was like, I don't like, no offense to people that are really in on the lore and all that stuff, but he's like, I don't know any of that stuff. I don't know much about Metal Gear other than what I recorded. I don't want to talk about that stuff. And you guys aren't going to ask me all that kind of stuff, are you? Because I really don't think I've got good answers for that. And we were just like, oh boy.
Are you in for a treat?
Yeah. So I'm just really glad that it's like, as we were approaching the convention center, it's just like, it felt like everything that either of us wanted clicked. You know what I mean? So it just like this perfect puzzle piece moment. But yeah.
It's worth noting too, like, and that was something that we discovered from Colin and Bethan too. And some of the actors do, but a good chunk of the voice actors that do this don't really know a whole lot about the lore of the games. Colin, I do want to mention Colin. It has started streaming Final Fantasy XIV on Twitch, so you can go to twitch.tv/IamAlphano if you want to check that out when he streams.
Oh, what a good user.
Yeah, it's very good. But generally they don't know a whole lot about lore, and so we asked them about other things, and that was very fun, and it was really good. You'll notice from the Paul interview, and you'll notice from the Cam interview before the panel, we didn't really talk to them about Metal Gear a lot. We kind of just wanted to talk about like everything. And I think that was a really good experience talking to them all about all kinds of stuff. So
totally. Well, and to be honest too, it's like we've already interviewed them about Metal Gear on this show.
Right. Exactly.
So think of this as a follow-up conversation.
Yeah.
And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Cam Clarke. So we're here with Cam Clarke at...
Wait, what? Cam Clarke is here?
He is.
Where? I am shocked.
He's the one with the longest line at his booth for signatures out of everyone here. So for everybody at home, obviously, who's not here, we do have some listeners for our show who are going to be in attendance. So I think they're really excited. But for everybody who's not here with us, we are half an hour away from being on a panel with Cam. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I want to throw you a couple curveballs. And I want to give you a quick
I'm not good at catching balls.
No, I understand. Well. I just want to show you something, and I want to hear about it, because I didn't know about this. I did not know about this, and when I found it, I had to have it.
Did you swipe left and see some photos on my phone you shouldn't ought to see?
I wish.
Oh my goodness.
Can you tell me about this? It's wonderful.
How do you have this?
I bought the only copy I could find online, and somebody in San Diego shipped it to a friend in Portland, and it showed up a day before I did. So it's wonderful.
How much do I cost nowadays?
It was
$6.
It was $45.
Really?
Yes, before shipping.
Well, moving forward, why don't you come to me?
No, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I wanted to surprise you.
My
I wanted to surprise you.
So, do you want to explain what we're looking at for the listeners?
We're dancing around it. So, Cam in 1999 put out an album of love songs that are very good and also available on YouTube through Cam's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And available for purchase on camclarke.com.
I think it's camclarkevoices.com or is it a different place? Well, you might know better
I'll have
than
to
I.
triple check. We'll put the link in for everybody. But you can buy it digitally for $15. But it's very good. And I wanted to just know more about how this exists.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, it's no secret what team I bat for. And in my era, growing up gay, you had two kinds of music for our niche, our genre. Not that I care to live in a niche, but there was either disco, which I love to
disco.
the max.
Yeah,
it's what
absolutely.
I grew up with.
Yeah.
Or there was sappy, like Broadway. You know, someday he'll come along, the man I love. And and Harvey, no, not Harvey Firestein. What's the other one? What's the other guy?
Oh my God.
The piano guy.
Yeah. Are you talking about Liberace?
Feinstein.
No, Feinstein. Yeah. I don't know why I went to Liberace.
Yeah, never go to Liberace.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Feinstein. And there was his music, which was great, but I grew up in the 70s with folk pop, with, my favorite artists were James Taylor, Carly Simon,
Love those
Joni
two.
Mitchell,
100%, yeah.
Janis Ian, those folks. I was never into heavy rock. I was kind of more into Bread and the Carpenters.
My wife adores that. We have like 20 Carpenters records.
So I wanted to do this kind of my music, but switch the pronouns, which there's a hell of a lot of that
nowadays. Yeah.
But I just made all these songs that I grew up with, like, and then Son of a Preacher Man, since I pretty much come from that crazy religious background.
Yeah, because I Will Survive is on there,
right?
Yeah, I did.
Which we found out that was the origin of James Flinders as your non-sad name in Metal
we were
Gear.
looking up. We found the musical.
You guys have been stalking me.
I have. It's our job.
Well, no. So before,
so anyway,
please.
These are just like songs that I don't know what age range your folks are, but these are those names I just said. Like we have Rainy Night House, which is Joni Mitchell. Something in the Way He Moves, which is James Taylor, and he sings Something in the Way She Moves, for example.
Isn't that the first track on there?
Yeah.
I love that. That was really good. I liked
Thank you. And Son of a Preacher Man, of course, was Dusty Springfield singing, but the lyrics still are just that it kind of smacks of the hypocrisy of
100%.
religion.
100%.
Where these guys and gals, I guess, too, are on the down low. They're preaching this and that, but
exactly, yeah.
So
no, 100%.
I'm very proud of it.
You should be.
It's very good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And are you going to pitch my other one? Do you have
is
that?
It the holiday one?
My Christmas
one. I don't
one.
have it. No, unfortunately.
Okay. Well,
I'm
I'm ending this podcast.
It's also available on Cam's website, the Christmas one, if you guys are interested.
Thank you for showing that. Also, I got to do my shameless plug.
Oh, of course, 100%. Please.
My book.
You have a book coming out? I did not know this.
I do.
Is this about your family growing up?
It's all through me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course.
I don't want to jinx the date since it was supposed to come out last holiday season.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But it's looking good. It's looking good.
We're shivering with anticipation.
It's a coffee table book, actually.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
It's 100 years of entertainment through one man's family.
I
My
love
grandpa
that.
starts in vaudeville, goes through, radio days, big band.
What network was your family's show on again? Was it ABC?
We had 2 series on ABC, and then we had a bunch of like holiday special syndicated.
Right.
But there are step out chapters in this. There's one of my cousin Tina Cole from My 3 Sons, or my dad has his own chapter from all of his goofy 1950s monster movies.
Right.
And so there's various step outs, and there's a big section about me and my career. And because it's a coffee table book, is filled with as much photos as memoirs.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so I have gathered archivally. Did I just invent an adverb?
That sounds
memoirs of all
So
the
it's like photo
the
essays,
people
kind
who
of.
have passed away.
Oh, wonderful.
And my family that's still living, and woven them into a
like a celebration,
conversation.
That's
I love that. That's awesome.
So I really hope it's out for the holidays, but whenever it comes out, I'm really proud of it.
Where can people find that? Is it going to be on your site or Amazon or what? Do you know yet?
Okay.
Sorry.
I think it will be on Amazon.
Okay.
Where else? I don't know yet, since we don't have a
We will
delivery
update
date.
our listeners when we know.
So. And speaking of the website, both are correct. Cam Clarke Voices redirects to camclarke.com. So either one was.
Nice.
See, never ask me about me.
Talking about your dad, by the way, we found a headshot of your dad. You have a very attractive father.
Tell me about it. I'm like, dude, why didn't I get your genes?
Oh,
no. And I had a gorgeous mom, but that's myself, But we don't need to go into my psychiatry thing, but wasn't he a looker?
Yeah, no, 100%.
He was so good looking. And I think sometimes that got in his way, because I've seen his good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He had a couple of opportunities with Ida Lupino. He did a couple of really good, straight ahead, good movies. But he was born too late.
Oh, okay.
By the time he's hitting it, it's Robert Mitchum. It's Kirk Douglas. It's these more manly men. And he was more like a Leslie Howard. He was, well, you've seen him.
Right.
He went to see one of his movies, a Western he'd done in the theaters. It was probably late 40s, early 1950 or something. And my dad, prettiest boy in the world, coming into the bar, right? The saloon with a
swinging doors.
Swing doors. The Spurs, ka-chink, 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 standing there. And I swear to God, he told me that someone behind him, and I didn't even know they said this back in the early 50s. They call out to the screen, "Get her!"
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like,
do you know the name of the film? Because now I
he
want to
did
pick
a lot
it up.
of B westerns.
Okay.
And in any moment, you can
I love
hear,
some like
you
deep
can hear him
cut.
trying to, be more, do like this. And be more. But then a lot of people in the 50s, they, the scripts were, they talked loud to each other. They were sitting at the same table.
Yeah. And with that like weird make-believe accent.
We
I
call
can't
that
remember what it's called.
Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, Mid-Atlantic. Yeah. Very, very prominent in movies of that era, for sure. This is the kind of stuff I love talking to you about, and to be totally honest. I mean, maybe it's because our interest, Sam and I have interests that are much greater than just video games. But we were talking about it coming up to the convention center. It's like those are the more interesting, personal.
But are you going to tell them? I will allow you to throw me under the bus with why we're not talking about on topic.
No, I think everybody knows.
Everybody knows, Karen, you're a real diva.
No. It's just the games are so like, if you're not in that world and you're not immersed in sort of that, I mean, it is a culture. It's all around us right now at the Expo. If you're not immersed in that sort of culture, but you show up and you're doing these wonderful performances because that is what you care about, there's a little bit of a mismatch. Like fans are asking about like lore questions, and it's like,
as I said when we were coming over with Ninja Turtles, it was a golden era of animation and stuff. Right. Radio style, we're all together. So I have stories that'll take you through. Right. End of next year.
Wonderful photographs too. We've seen some pictures of you guys. They all seem very happy.
With games, unless you play them.
Right.
And maybe I should just have one of you sit me down and show me some stuff so I can have some intelligence.
Sure.
But you go in and you record by yourself. Do only your lines. So, at the show, you guys, this was supposed to be like a Metal Gear themed.
Yeah.
And when these boys reached out to me, I went into a panic when David wasn't able to be here. And I was like, okay, here's my rules. I cannot carry a Metal Gear panel.
Yeah.
Because I only have like a couple of stories
Right.
for that, and I don't want to disappoint. And
well, it just shows how much you care about the fans too, though. It's you don't.
I do.
No, I think it's great.
They pay me money to care.
Course, of course.
So,
customer's always right. Speaking of paying
when they
money,
say I'm their favorite turtle,
of course,
they're always right.
Speaking of paying you money, I will be at your booth to get the CD signed. I'm not going to ask you for a freebie. If I can wait for that damn line to go down. Have a long line.
It's consistently been the longest.
Okay, y'all, I was shocked.
It was very long.
Because I'm used to, this is the first year that they're having us.
Yep.
So, okay, when I will back up to the original story.
Yeah, of course.
Which is Rob Paulson is begging me to do these.
Okay.
Right? And he had to like literally put a gun to my head. I went, are you kidding? But my main thing, as I said to him, I'm not generally a crowd people or whatever. It just sounded like a lot. But my main concern was, who's going to want our autograph?
Oh,
yeah.
And I'm not being coy.
No, I understand.
I've never been to one of these, and I'm going, we are so, not even 5 minutes ago. We're,
right.
You know, I know I'm in the history book.
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, Cam.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was so surprised. And here I am, 15 years later, and it's still going on. And I think that's one reason why, and it's hard to say this and not make one come off as having a fat head. We have not gotten fat heads because we still don't get it. We'll go out together and it's like, wait, these people are going to wait an hour and a half to me. I'm not Captain Kirk. You know, I'm not Ewan McGregor. So it never goes to my head because I go, you know, this is just, I'm just Camp Clarke, right? The big people are over there.
But we can attest to it because we were down there and people were before like 30, 45 minutes before you even showed up. We're waiting in line for you. And I think too.
Sorry, everybody.
And I think too, and it's a testament too, because like everybody, and it's retro games and retro everything. So, you know, there's a lot of nostalgia, and they didn't start advertising you being here. For it was a pretty last.
Well, I think because a lot of it had to do with the like agreement stuff and all this other stuff, but
because to get it all locked in, and even then
we're just saying that as a spectator from the outside with a little bit of an informed.
Yeah, even then, like with everybody that they've been announcing and stuff, you were still consistently one of the longest lines time history. And so people love you.
I gotta say about you people, you conventioneers, convention goers.
I'm here for you, Cam. So hold your tongue.
It's literally the only reason why we're
this
here.
This is a compliment for the people that come. They stand in lines for hours.
Yeah.
And I have never had anyone get cross, or if I go, guys, I got to take a potty break, but I'll be right back. And I never hear anybody go, oh, you're waiting in line for that. It's like in this world, you prepare mentally.
Yeah, absolutely.
That lines with, people. And I've seen people come up with partners. You go stand in this one and you go stand in that one. Right. And they got a plan, but it's been just delightful that everyone is so gracious about waiting.
Yeah. No, I can attest to that. We were helping Bethan Walker and Colin Ryan. My brain is fried. We were helping them with their booth yesterday, and I was blown away at some of the fans, like just again, kindness. Like after coming back from the fire alarm, they were all very, very like personable and totally okay with the talent.
We had taken a couple of payments right as the alarm went off, and like everybody was super gracious about letting those people get back in front to get there.
It was very cool.
It's consistently very kind.
Yeah.
But nice. Well, as always, we appreciate you taking this time with us. Is there anything else you want to say before we start to get ready for the panel?
Golly, now I'm on the spot. I want to marry Portland.
Oh, do you like it? Is this your first time up here or no?
I've been here over the years, and I think I did a show here with you, a convention.
Oh,
here.
it was in Renton. It was outside of Seattle. It was in 2019.
Was that with David?
We saw you. Yeah, with David.
Or Turtles?
Yeah, it was with David.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've only been together maybe 3 times, which is so weird.
Right. Yeah.
But this city is, and I'm not just blowing smoke. Also, it's autumn.
Yeah,
the weather here
beautiful.
is so crisp and cool.
The trees are just changing over. It's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get to go home to LA with 90 degrees.
Very different world.
Feel sorry for me, everyone.
Awesome.
And we all weep openly.
Yeah. That's the world's smallest violin. Well, cool. Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll make sure we include links for all the website stuff. And yeah,
Great.
Very excited. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Thanks, Cam.
Thank you.
All right, let's get this show on the road. I'm going to do a super quick intro. You guys are probably wondering, who the hell is the guy at the table? So my name is Alessio Summerfield. I'm one of 2 co-hosts for Metal Gear Mondays. It's a podcast all about Metal Gear. We don't take ourselves too seriously, and this panel will not be too serious. I trust me. But my other co-host, Sam, is going to be coming in very shortly. And we are super, super honored to be able to host this panel with Cam Clarke, a.k.a. Liquid Snake, for any Metal Gear fans in the room. So without further ado, he's done a million other characters, obviously. This man's IMDb is like 60 seconds of scrolling long. But yeah, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I present Cam Clarke. I forgot to mention, this is kind of a game show.
You've actually just pulled up all kinds of PTSD for me by playing game show music. Yeah, y'all know my story with Townsend Coleman?
Tell us.
We met before Ninja Turtles. We met on the game show Super Password. And when they filmed those, they have a lot of people, and it's like you're held hostage. There's a big room, and because they tape multiple shows a day, you're like there for the weekend or a couple of weekends, and they do like 5 episodes a day. And we both failed miserably. I won $100 and a year's supply of pantyhose, I think.
Yes.
Remember legs?
Essentials.
What did you do with the pantyhose?
Robbed liquor stores.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to show you guys.
I'm in stereo?
You can do
Yeah.
You want
Hello,
you want the other 2?
hello.
Give you 4.
Yeah, so that's the tone of this panel. So if you want it to be serious, please leave. Okay, cool.
Thanks for coming out, you guys.
Yes. Cam has been a really good sport, so I just want to say thank you ahead of time before you hate me at the end of this panel.
Uh-oh.
Us.
I
helped.
I was trying to take the hit, Sam.
I want the hit.
Did you break into my phone and see some of the wrong pictures?
I might have. We'll find out. So Sam and I, obviously, we love Cam. We love Metal Gear. But we also love a lot of Cam's other roles. And here they are. I totally forgot to remove that photo of pensive Cam. No. Here, I'll show you.
Oh.
So, Cam, ignore the picture in the top right. You told me to remove it, and I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, don't look at that big bright picture in the upper right-hand corner. I mean, it's like, at least tell me you're going to take a picture. Look at that resting bitch face.
We're going to call it pensive.
Okay, actually, I look like I'm really bored to be on that panel.
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like I'm going, when the hell is this thing over?
Yeah. Do you want to do an impression of it right now for us?
I think I just did.
Oh, okay. All right.
Was he not listening?
So
this is a live photo right here.
Yeah. So it's one of those Harry Potter like living photographs.
Living images.
So Sam and I went through and we starred some of our favorite roles. I want to read some of these really quickly. So I don't know what this is from, but you were a character named Traitor to Heaven, and I just want you to know this is the most
like traitor.
Yeah, it's the most metal name I have ever heard. as is Kaiser.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Traitor to Heaven.
Yeah. And then also Kaiser Oblivion.
What is Kaiser?
What the hell?
We don't know.
Is that my porn name?
Yeah.
But there's some good
Traitor
stuff
to Heaven would be a good porn handle.
Oh,
right?
That'd be real dirty.
Right?
Yeah. That's
unless one of you already have that domain.
That's like Caligula level.
I think we're safe.
But yeah, so good stuff in here. My favorite role is.
Do you have a voice of that?
I do not have a voice of that one, unfortunately.
Traitor to Heaven. What about that other one you said?
Kaiser Oblivion.
Yeah. Well, we can play them off
right.
off
Yeah,
mic.
we'll do this.
Anyway, my favorite role is interviewee himself.
Yeah.
But some of the other ones are
Interviewee
great.
himself.
Yeah, that's you.
I mean, I use my own voice.
Yeah, it was you yourself.
Your role right now.
Yeah, currently with me right now.
How much am I getting paid?
We can discuss that later.
Okay.
Okay, so the next slide. We're going to go ahead and cue Act 1 of this game show. Dramatic. Whoa.
Was there any woodwind in that?
There was no woodwind in that clip. Did anybody in here get scared? No? All right.
It's Halloween almost.
I failed. All right, so we're going to break these up into parts. Part 1 is Cam is going to guess a role after we play the sound. Cam's done like 1,000 million voices, so I'm going to have fun watching him suffer trying to figure it out.
That's just at home in the bathtub playing with my rubber ducky.
So we're going to go through some of them you guys may know, some of them you may not, but it's going to be exciting. And then we've got 2 other parts, so stick around for all of them, please. Lock the doors. All right.
This first one is going to be, we want to sort of set a baseline. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge. So I hope you're ready.
Yeah, this one's the most difficult.
Please, we're going to show a silhouette of the character, and then we're going to play the sound. Please do not answer until you've heard the noise.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It may be hard based on the silhouette.
Yeah. So we're not sure.
And
is this a Rorschach test?
Yeah. What do you see?
I see my mom and dad fighting.
All right, let me play the sound effect. Again, very difficult. You may not get it.
I'm Leonardo.
Oh, wait, play that again, though.
Yeah,
play that again.
You ready?
I'm Leonardo.
That's not the voice I've been using for the past 30 years.
We found it in episode 1 of the show, Cam.
Okay, because I mean, when you guys come up to the table, I'm kind of doing this thing, right? No, that sounds like my own real voice. So when
I'm Leonardo.
I'm Leonardo. I'm Leonardo. So what? Do I go back to that? Have I just been pitching it up over the years, and I just haven't watched in so long that I've become a cartoon of a caricature of my caricature?
That's what it sounds like. You should fire the continuity person for that show.
Does that sound like the turtle that y'all?
I swear to God, I pulled it from episode 1.
You are so full of bullshit.
Promise. The point of this panel is actually to give Cam an existential crisis. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
So is this pitch too high, though? Is this Leo that I do for you guys when you come up to the table? Turtles fight with honor. Does that sound at all like him?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Did you hear this? Yeah. Okay, I have to.
Yeah, so what's your guess? Who is this?
Okay, I got to tell you.
It's Leonardo. Come on.
So a million years ago, because I also did VO for radio and TV commercials, and back in the day, there was no, recording from Poughkeepsie and sending it in. And I got to a session for some radio spots, and they kept going, and then they turn off the, and they're talking in the booth and everything. And we were a small group of actors compared to, now and everything. And they come in to talk back from the booth, and they go, Cam, we meant to hire Cam Brainerd.
Oh, no.
There's only 2 cams in the entire community. And I'm like, okay, I know this guy. Am I really that horrible?
Oh, no.
No, I mean, I'm saying this isn't, you're not going to just go, this works.
Yeah.
No, we got to get that other guy, that other guy.
Cam Brainerd.
Did you do a Cam Brainerd impersonation for the rest of the...
Oh, yeah.
It was a challenge. They were challenging you.
I did get a campaign for radio, for a jewelry chain, Jared Jewelers.
Oh.
And the guy that they'd wanted, we used to be on beepers, pagers, because work was so ubiquitous. It's like, beep, you got to be over at this studio in 20 minutes. And they couldn't get a hold of the guy they wanted. And I was like the second choice, and I'm this light voice, kind of reedy, lighter voice. And the guy that this jewelry store wanted this kind of thing at Jared Jewelers. And they couldn't get a hold of the guy, so my agent just goes, you go, just push your voice down. Just shove your voice lower. And so I'm, at that age, I didn't really have this depth. So I'm kind of, at Jared Jewelers. But I had this campaign for like 12 years. So I'm so sorry he lost his pager.
Did you ever untie him and let him out of your closet?
You don't know. Shut up.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
That's Leonardo.
All right.
Oh, my mother and father fighting. That's me taking a big, I don't know what.
All right, let's play the clip.
My father's dead, and it's because of me. It's my fault. I can't go back. It won't change anything.
Simba for the block?
It's Simba. It's specifically Kingdom Hearts 2 Simba from 2005.
I just want to throw out really quick. It was 1:30 in the morning, and I was delirious when I saw this clip. It made me laugh my ass off. It's great.
Yeah. So Cam, I have a question. So obviously you voiced Simba in different properties at this point. This was in 2005. You did this for this video game. I don't know if they reused it or if you'd recorded it specifically for. But how do you get back into that character, into that skin when it's been like a decade or whatever in between?
Well, when you have multiple personalities to begin with, it's. I wish I had some sophisticated or artistic something to share, but it's never been a problem.
Oh, okay.
For me. I mean, the most I have to do is like if I'm in an expansion pack for a game, playing Medivh or Malagos or whatever it is, they have a sample always ready there because I don't remember. And I don't remember, shut up. You're not my real dad.
No, that makes sense.
It's not hard. I just play it, and I had been joking around. Don't ask me why I chose Matthew Broderick to be someone that I could impersonate, but it's been a lovely ride so far.
Nice.
It's worth noting that when we were finding clips for this, we found a clip from Lion King 2, which was Matthew Broderick, and Alessia goes, "That's not Matthew Broderick, that's Cam, isn't it?" And that's the truth. Like we were.
Yes.
You do a good job. Yeah,
and that is one of my saddest stories.
Oh, great, excellent.
Just because Matthew didn't want to come back to do the second movie. And so they needed a sound alike. And Jim Cummings, who y'all may know, Tigger and Pooh and a zillion other characters, back in the day, we would hang out.
Okay.
Everybody, you're at an audition and everybody, and like the casting people would come out and go, "Will you people keep it down out there? We're trying to record." Because it was this wonderful party and we knew a lot about each other. And I would mess around with that sound alike. And so I did this Matthew Broderick thing. He kind of sounds like an old Jewish person, but with a younger sound. And Jim knew that I did it, and so he told Disney, and they went, "Okay, we trust you." And I think it was just an official meet and greet when I went over there. And then Matthew decided, because Ernie, what's his name? He played the hedgehog.
Oh man,
or Nathan Lane?
No.
The hedgehog.
The other, or the meerkat.
Yeah. Nathan Lane.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Okay, the other one.
Oh, the one for the crap.
It doesn't
totally
matter.
blanking. Anyway, yes.
He told Matthew, dude, you can't pass on this. The residuals are going to be off the hook. So I had recorded like 3/4 the entire script, and that was that.
Nice. That's awesome.
No, nice, awesome. He wasn't even listening to me.
I was listening.
That's like his default response to most things.
Just oh, nice, yeah.
Sick.
So, but they did like my singing voice, so I got to do the theme song on that, and then any subsequent Simba stuff is me.
I can't say nice anymore because Sam called me out, so I'm just gonna nod.
Okay. That still lets me know you're not listening. Okay, next.
Yeah, I want to ask more about these voice actor like hangout parties at some point, but we'll keep going. All right, so for this next one, I'm gonna need you guys to just cool it. All right, just calm down. Just please be respectful. Cam, you can talk through all of it if you want.
Okay.
What is this?
Oh my goodness. That's my mom. That's me with the fro. I'm 17. These are my brothers on any of you.
Tell us more.
The King family. My family had a series back in the 60s. And this is from one of our Christmas specials.
Very nice. I'm going to play this out for a little bit longer because I want to stop on a very specific moment.
I love how patient.
Look at, I'm just... I'm listening.
What year was this, do you know?
74.
Okay. Wait for it. All right, everybody now, together. Look at that eyebrow. All right, one more time, everybody.
Okay, wait. We got to roll back, and I have to get a video of this. Of them singing.
All right.
Because my family's going to shite themselves.
All right.
Where's my phone?
Sam wants
How am I
exclusive
gonna get it
rights.
from you?
Send it to you.
Yeah, we'll text you, Cam. I have your number,
This
Cam.
is 2024. We have the technology.
What century is this? All right.
All right,
You have to
I'll roll it back. I'll roll it back.
I'm going to go there, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Do you want to conduct them like an orchestra?
No.
No? Okay, I'm sorry. Was that too forward?
Merry Christmas. Christmas in September.
All right.
Halloween yet.
I'm going to pull it back.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
I start watching Over the Garden Wall.
Nice. All right, I'm going to hit play. Are you ready, Cam?
Yes. I'm going to start from the video. I'm going to pan out.
Yeah.
Okay, start with me.
All right. Back to one.
Tell me when it's rolling.
Should we stand?
Oh, do you want them to stand?
Stand when you do.
Yeah. Rise upon singing. Can we get more light? I don't know. Can we? Do you guys want to pull out your flashlights on your phones too? I did not know we would have audience participation, but here we go.
Game show.
Oh yeah.
Come up stage.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
Rolling.
Family, hi. It's you know me. I'm your cousin Cam, right? I'm nervous. So I'm here in Portland, as a lot of you know, and I'm doing my Q&A, and I have no idea what these two adorable men have set up for me. And then they pull up this. This is a replay because all of a sudden, what you're about to see happened.
And let's do it.
Said the little lamb to the shepherd boy. Do you
All right,
hear what I hear?
Everybody.
The sky
One more.
Do you hear what I hear? A song, a song.
Yay!
Trees with a voice as big as the sea. With a voice as big as the sea.
All right, now everybody pay attention to the screen. All right. So this isn't a guess that role. This is Alessio has two questions for you. My two questions are, who is this man and is he upset?
that's my oldest brother, Lex, and probably bored out of his mind. He did all the arranging for our show and stuff, and a good picture of him does not exist. Whether it is just a stationary picture. What is the word?
Static?
What?
Still.
Whatever. Still. There we go.
A photograph.
Or a moving picture. He always looks in pain. Like the hemorrhoids aren't as bad as they were yesterday.
Well, let's give it up for Lexi.
Oh my God.
We're making memories here, ladies and gentlemen.
Boy.
All right, let's do the next one. This is one of my personal favorites.
That looks like a South Park somebody.
I really
Is that my parents fighting? Look,
right.
There's their open mouths.
Yeah, screaming.
Oh, yeah. No, good call. All right, here we go. I'm playing the clip. And...
Listen, big man, if someone is thanking you, the least you can do is listen. And while you're at it, we need food and some money. How rude, girlie. I'm not a bug, I'm an elf. An elf, damn it. Haven't you ever seen an elf?
Do you have any idea what that's from?
I'm an elf. I'm a Christmas elf.
You're not a Christmas elf. You're actually not an elf.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Cam, what are you saying in this clip?
A rite of passage for the gals like Debbie Derryberry and Tara Strong and stuff with little who can do the little voices.
Mm-hmm.
I was on like every Christmas audition for elves because the guys with the little voices, who could do that or do a grumpy elf? And I think I finally at least landed one Christmas campaign as an elf, so I can die a happy elf.
So this is actually pretty obscure. I'm going to go ahead and just show you. Is that okay?
Okay.
This is Puck from the Berserk game for the Sega Dreamcast. I mean, he doesn't always look like that, but that's his like chubby chibi form. Have
you guys ever seen any of you?
Any Berserk fans in the audience? Awesome. Yeah, we got a couple. That one's for me. That's not for you. This one's for me.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like three for you, one for us. That's how.
That's like something if you found in your kid's bedroom, you'd be frightened. And you'd throw that doll out into the garbage, and you know what happens. The next night, it's still on the bed.
Yeah, of course.
I stayed at a B&B. I hate B&Bs. Last year, I was in Maine, and we ended up at one, and it was, where the family's literally with you, and it's like, I don't like people.
Okay.
And on my bed, I felt like I was trapped at grandma's. And I didn't like grandma. On my bed was a sock monkey.
Ooh.
Right? Am I right?
That's creepy.
So I don't know these folks, but I marched downstairs and I said, "What is this? This is a sock monkey. No sock monkeys jumping on my bed." I went, "You take this away, because if I take him someplace else, he's going to end up on my bed again." So
now that it does kind of look like a fleshy sock monkey. Now that I'm looking at it,
oh
it
no!
Does.
We're gonna move on before this gets
I'm not
worse.
sorry. If I have to see it, you have to see it. So,
all right.
Ooh, hot. Is he single?
You tell me.
Look at those gams. Right? Who said right?
Hey. Right? The quote is actually also kind of thirsty, so let's hear it.
Oh, you know cats, Ram-Man. They love a good chase.
Oh, is that He-Man?
It is.
Hey!
Great job.
Is he single?
Well, this would be a deep dive.
Yeah, let's do it.
And it's going to be in my book, Shameless Plug, that I hope is coming out before the holidays this year.
The book is not called Shameless Plug.
No.
I hope not. That's a different book.
There was this thing on the interwebs where people were fighting about, because they knew I was gay and was raised Mormon. Right? Yeah. You feel my pain?
Wait, no. Mormon's perfect, though. It's more man.
I was in the wrong chapel.
That was off the top of my head.
So there was this big thing about Cam's gay, So is Leonardo gay? Well, He-Man's definitely gay with that furry underwear. And this back and forth about, and people go, hey, don't knock the gays. Always one of my favorite, the gays. Like Gays Inc.
Yeah.
And this funny bit going back and forth about the sexual proclivities of my characters. So, that'll be in my book.
Yeah.
So enjoy.
Is there anybody here who was on one side of that war? Anybody who was really into He-Man being shipped as a gay man? All right, let's move on. We got more to do, boys. Oh no. All right, so this is for Sam.
Oh,
all right, here we go.
This is what?
This is for Sam.
This is one for me.
Yeah, he really wanted to show you this.
Asshole.
No. Oh, are you calling Sam an asshole, or are you saying that's an asshole?
I meant that.
All right, let's do it.
But I had no idea she was motivated by such petty revenge. We still don't know what changes she made to Fox Die's program.
I'm pretty good.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I've already added the Fox Die vaccine to my list of White House demands.
Who is that?
Okay, I'm going to get a year's supply of pantyhose on this one because
Yeah, of course. It's Liquid Snake in an orb. I don't know why Sam really wanted to do this one.
Wait, that's a thing? Is that a thing, you guys?
He wanted me to muffle the audio and then get you on.
Well,
it was supposed to be a gotcha.
Yeah.
It is a gotcha.
My hope was that you would have said Liquid Snake and then I would have said actually.
Well,
not
okay,
true.
you're not even going to believe me, but I was going, that sounds like some, soft liquid.
Ooh.
But you win.
Here's the question I have for you. Liquid Snake gay?
Be careful what you say, Cam.
This is going to change the course of the Metal Gear fan community for decades.
I have heard that sometimes He-Man and Liquid get a hotel room at these conventions.
I think that's just you and a mirror, Cam. All right, let's move on. Oh, man, what could that be?
Tetsuo!
Hey, hold on. I haven't played the clip yet, Cam.
Oh,
okay.
Well, you just asked me. Guess who this is?
Yeah, guess who? Okay, fine. I'm sorry. All right.
Get a hold of yourself! You start by stealing my bike and run it into the ground, so just cool it, okay?
Just cool it, okay? You're not my real dad.
It's that exact tone.
Yeah.
It's totally like, shut up, you don't know.
Too cool for school, man.
Yeah.
So who did you say it was again?
Kaneda.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, it's Kaneda.
Kaneda, accent on the first syllable. Oh my God.
You getting dinner? It's actually Kaneda in Boca Raton, Florida, at the McDonald's.
Neo Tokyo, aka Boca Raton, Florida. Yeah.
Florida man steals Kaneda's bike.
That parking lot might actually be underwater right now, so I apologize for anyone who's from Florida.
That's hilarious.
I don't know where I just made up.
No, I
don't know where this is.
I was also part of the bit, Sam. Let's keep going.
I'm gonna fight you in the parking lot.
Okay, so this is a new part. This is a new format.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we're entering a new format. This was actually you and the Turtles, but I photoshopped us in there. Do you like it?
Oh my God.
Did I do a good job?
You certainly did. Oh my God, what a great! I'm going because I'm literally. It's so good. I'm going. I don't remember this panel.
You're very captivated in whatever Sam is saying.
I do appreciate that you did pick a panel where he was in Seattle.
Yeah. Sorry, PRGE.
Not Portland.
Okay, so this next part, pretty self-explanatory. True, false.
He's not enjoying this panel.
He's not.
No, he's here. He's actually here in Portland. That man is named Metal Jesus Rocks. He is neither made of metal nor Jesus, so I'm not quite sure.
But he is made of rocks.
Yeah, he is made of rocks. Yeah. Okay, so true, false. As soon as we get through this, we will do audience stuff, I believe. So bear with us. Shh, that's a special surprise.
Oh.
Okay, part 2, true or false? I, Cam Clarke of Sound, Mind, and Body, recorded an album of love songs in the year of our Lord, 1999. True or false?
You don't know. Very true.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh my God, that's me.
It's very good, actually. But yeah.
Any of you heard this? No, I won't. Oh well, CamClarkeVoices.com. Operators are standing by. Yeah, I was really proud of that.
Should be. It's legitimately very good.
Can you tell us a little bit about it for the audience here?
Yeah, sure. Growing up, coming out in my generation, there was two kinds of music for gay folk, basically, that we embraced. One was the disco stuff, which I loved. And the other would be like Michael Feinstein, which is just American Songbook, Cole Porter, whatever, love songs from the 30s and 40s. And I went, neither of these are music that would be love songs to me. The
Right.
American Songbook is like, I love it, but it's not me. I grew up with the likes of James Taylor, Carole King, Joni Mitchell, Carly Simon, all those folks.
Any Mitchell heads in the house tonight?
What?
I said, any Mitchell heads in the house tonight?
Got a couple.
All right, yeah. Let's give it up for Joni Mitchell.
Help me, I think I'm falling in love too fast. So I did songs of my favorite singers, and I just switched the pronouns. And so it was like James Taylor sang something in the way she moves, and I made something the way he moves. One of the funnest cuts on this, is that an alarm or is that mine? There was an old song by a gal named Dusty Springfield, if anybody remembers her. Yeah, one of my favorites. And she had a hit song of a thing called Son of a Preacher Man. And great song. So I just changed the pronouns, and considering my background of the more man background,
you can have
I
that
just
one.
did a twist on it, and I just had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, it's a really good record, guys. For
Thank
real.
you.
And I have the only physical copy you can buy on the internet, so I'm sorry. But you.
But
can
I
get
do
it
have it
digitally.
downloadable on my site, and I do have some. Don't tell him, but I still have some hard copies.
Do you have any idea how much I paid for mine? Okay, let's keep going.
$1 million.
True, false. Sam, do you want to read this one?
I would never, ever lend my voice to a faith-based cucurbita masquerading as a pirate in a children's film that can be seen on Delta Airlines flights in 2024.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know.
Could you repeat the question? Wait, what?
Do you want to translate
I would never,
it?
ever lend my voice to a faith-based, what's a
gourd. It's a scientific name for a gourd.
Oh, okay. Scientific name for a gourd.
Masquerading as a pirate in a children's film that can be seen on Delta Airlines flights in 2024.
The pirates who do nothing?
Yeah.
Legitimate. So
is that faith-based?
Yeah,
VeggieTales is Christian. Yeah, it's a Christian children's. Yeah. He's done several VeggieTales movies. I just want to throw that out there. This is legitimately. We were on our flight from Atlanta to here, and we
was
were
on the
scrolling
plane?
through the
Yeah,
movies,
yeah.
and this was the plane. And there it is, Cam Clarke, right on the starring list. There you are.
I'll have to watch that on the flight home.
Yeah. Sam and I were right next to each other, and we were like, "There's no way." And we clicked it, and we saw your name, and we both audibly, for everyone around us, went, "Oh!"
At the same time, we were geeked. It was great.
Yeah, it was awesome. All right, this is the last true false, I think. Yep. True false, I'll read this one. With the help of Alessio Summerfield, that's me, I once defeated David Hayter in a life or death laser tag struggle in Renton, Washington.
Hey, Renton represent.
True or false? Let's go, Renton. Sorry, that was for you.
Was I there?
You were there.
Oh my God. Oh my God, y'all, scarred for life. Oh my, you were there?
Yeah.
We were both there.
Oh my God.
I gave you.
Were you on the?
I gave you a Barbie Coke. Remember? You wanted.
You
one really-
did.
yeah?
We gave him a baby Coke. Yeah. We said, "Here, have a little Coke."
I had a fan give me. A lot of people know I collect mid-century toys, Barbies being a big thing of it. He comes up and he looks like someone that maybe you might want to hide for cover hoodie, slanted eyes, kind of a face like this. And he brought up a mini AK-47 for me to put in my Barbie case so they'd be protected.
Oh no!
Thank
no!
you. Thank you, Mom.
So Cam, true or false?
Okay, very true. But were you on my team or David's?
So actually, that's why it's false. I was on David's team and I beat you mercilessly.
Okay, can I tell it?
Yes, please. Yes.
Wait. Which team were you on?
I was not. We were great.
You were on David's.
Yeah, I was on David's team.
Okay.
I shot you, Cam.
Really? I was horrible at sports growing up. I mean, I was good at, track because I had a lot of practice running away. But this was set up for a VIP
for VIP.
thing.
Yeah.
Never having met any of these people, darling people, we do the old David and I are the team captains, so another layer of PTSD, knowing that someone will be the last person picked. And that, just puts such stress. But so literally, neither of us know these people. And so David's going, okay, you, and then it's my turn, you, and just randomly pulled them up. You would have thought...
Mario's here.
You would have thought we knew these people ahead of time because everyone on my team scored worse than everyone on David's team. It went, David's team, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And everyone on my team were the last 10 spots. And I'm there going, how did I pick this stupid team?
Well,
adorable people, but I was like, really? The celebrity? None of you people can hit the side of a barn?
To be fair, if you look at the photo, Cam, you're the only one wearing bright red shoot me jacket.
That's true.
So we could see you from a mile away, my friend.
Yeah, let's blame it on the coat.
I get it. Okay, so this next one's for Cam. It's very quick, and then we'll do the audience stuff. Cam, this is my favorite thing that's a part of this. Cam on cams. I'm going to show you other people named Cam Clarke, and I just want your first impression.
Yeah.
All right?
Vibes.
Oh, my God.
Also, your hair is amazing in this photograph. All right, so again, keep in mind, these are just other people named Cam Clarke that I found on Google, and I just need a quick...
Some on Google, some on Tinder?
Yeah, maybe. Some on LinkedIn. But yeah, so let's do it.
The Tinder of business.
This is a head men's golf
it's
coach.
spelled the same way.
Yeah, all of them are.
They're all yeah.
What do you think of this, Cam?
I think he's married with 3 kids, but has a boyfriend undercover.
Whoa. Cam on cam.
Kind of, sort of, maybe.
Yeah.
You nailed it, I think. I don't know. I don't know this man. All right, Cam on cams, round 2.
Nice. That's a nice Cam. That's a nice Cam Clarke. Hi, Cam Clarke. Hi, Cam Clarke. We both have the same names, I dare say.
We should do a Cam Clarke convention of all the Cam Clarks.
Yes. Very handsome.
Nice. All right, next one.
Cam Clarke.
Ooh, I like that. His name. Who's he play for?
I don't know. I think it's like a regional team or something.
It's not a.
This is
I like it.
This is Butch Cam Clarke.
That's very Butch. Oh, can I tell my quick Butch story?
Yeah, of course, please. Yeah, of course. I think we have a Butch fan.
Should we finish the cams?
No, yeah, we can do that. Let's finish with Cam on cams. Let's finish with Cam. This is
nice.
Cam.
I like that.
Do you like his jacket or blazer?
Yeah.
Sports coat?
Where does he live?
I don't know, actually.
Can we get his?
He's in California.
Okay, let's look him up. Okay,
all right, next.
I'm going to end up with a husband. Thank you, Portland.
I would love to see Cam Clarke married to a Cam Clarke. Whose name would you take?
Yeah. Well, we
hyphenated.
Each used our same monogram towels.
Yeah.
Would it be Cam Clarke with the hyphen?
Cam hyphen.
Cameron hyphen Clarke hyphen Clarke.
All right, next Cam.
Well, this fella.
What do you think of this Cam? He's got nice eyebrows, I think.
He has nice eyebrows, nice smile.
Is that all you got?
I'm not going to go out. But it looks like a nice fellow.
Got it. We're swiping, I don't know, left? We're swiping left. And one more, I think? No, 2 more.
Oh, nice. He'd probably try to sell me something, right?
Yes, I think that's actually what this is a picture of.
Salesman.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's he play for?
The Jets.
The Jets.
Oh, nice.
New York Jets.
East Coast.
Is he a fan?
Sure.
Nice beard.
Sure.
He's a magician.
Sam, do you want to say the thing to Cam that you said to me about this?
His silhouette profile reminds me of a cheese knife. Like a little blade down here. I don't know.
Cheese knife Cam.
Does he come as knives?
Yeah. We can.
I don't know how to answer that question.
We can make that happen for you.
All right. Yeah, he's a magician. He probably has a cape.
All right. So I think. Oh, sorry. Oh, secret Cam.
Secret Cam.
Oh.
He looks surprised.
He looks like. Oh. He looks like. Oh, that other Cam Clarke.
He's judging
I thought
me.
I was the only one here. I was told I'd be the only Cam Clarke.
He's gonna show up to CamCon and be very disappointed.
Yes.
I better sleep with one eye open.
All right. So now we're going into part 4. But do you want to tell your Butch story?
Yeah. Yes. Quick story. This is my real speaking voice. But growing up, again, broken record. There's like. You hear about like fair-skinned black people passing or gay people passing.
Yeah.
This thing to be mainstream. I used to rent there's a local mountain resort by me called Lake Arrowhead. And I used to rent a place up there. Every October for Halloween, I'd take my friends up there. And it was, colder time of the year. And I'd order firewood.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go up with one of my girlfriends, and we're the first ones there, and we're chit-chatting, knock on the door. And I open the door, and here's these lumberjack guys with their big things, and they go, yeah, we're here to deliver the firewood. I went, yeah, right. Just stack it over. Yeah, just stack it over there because it's maybe going to rain tonight. So that'll be great. And how much do I owe you? Great. And here's for you guys. Awesome. Thanks, guys. And I close the door, and my girlfriend goes, what the hell was that? And I went, what the hell was that? And she literally says, close your ears. Cute little redheaded something back there. She literally goes, what was that? Your sports and pussy voice?
That's amazing.
So obviously I would employ this sound that would make me more, acceptable, right, guys? Right? All right, let's get a brewski.
Yeah. That's amazing. All right, so we have like 4 minutes. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, shit.
We have like
Why didn't you
4
stop
minutes.
me?
Well, because it was a good story. Before we jump into the one audience, whatever.
The one question.
Yeah. Before we jump into the question, Cam, where can people find your booth when this is over for signatures and stuff? I think it's like Auditorium E or something?
It's Exhibition
You're
Hall.
asking me that?
It's Exhibition Hall E towards the back where there's a big like thing that says autograph area. It's right back there. Come.
Yeah.
Come.
Yeah, this is coming from the guy with the fancy word for gourd.
Yeah.
We had to Google that.
Yeah, you could probably follow us too if you want. But anyway, Cam's over there. He's going to be next to Bethan and Colin of Final Fantasy XIV fame. But yeah, let's get a question. Jeopardy rules only though, so you have to phrase it in the form of a question.
I'm sorry, you guys. We really have to.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. But yellow shirt, beanie, toboggan. I don't know what that is.
Beanie.
Okay, cool.
I'm also a Cameron, so I was wondering, like, in my relationship with my name has changed over my life. So I was wondering how you've always felt about your name and if you ever liked it, disliked it.
Great question. Never been asked that. Cameron, do you come with monogram towels?
Not yet.
Cam on Cam.
Not yet, says he. What were we talking about?
Cam or Cameron? Do you like your name?
Your relationship with your name.
As a kid, when I grew up, nobody had the name Cameron. Didn't exist. And everybody was, John and Bill and, that kind of thing.
Steve.
Yeah. And so I didn't like it as a little kid, but I came to love it a lot. My first nickname was Cram, that my cousin gave me. And everybody thinks I've never heard of things that have the word cam in them. Hey, camshaft. Yeah, I've heard it. Hey, chamomile. Hey, overhead cam. And yeah, and it's like, I've heard it. But I was never called Cammy until I entered voiceovers and started doing cartoons. And directors started calling me Cammy. And I know a lot of people do not like certain nicknames. Don't call me that. Like my publisher is named Tyson, and I'm not allowed to call him Ty.
Oh, okay.
But my feeling about nicknames is, however you see me, dickhead, if you see me as Cammy or Cameron is for people that haven't met me because they don't understand the word Cam. Kevin? No, Cam. Tim? No, Cam. Ken? No. So I go Cameron. Oh, yes. But
nailed it.
Whatever somebody like Cameroonski is, again, Cameroon and macaroon and like I said, Cammy. So
everybody brainstorm a cool one.
Are you enjoying it?
I am.
Good.
Same way, I didn't like it when I was younger, and then as I grew up, I've come to love it, and I have a million nicknames too.
What's your favorite nickname?
Hey!
I have gotten that.
Oh,
and
wow.
I've gotten Camerama, and
Oh, that's a good
dude.
one too.
I had a guy a year ahead of me in school. This is not making this up. His name was Cameron. Cam. Want to just tell me what his last name in real life was? What did you just say? Malott. His last name is Malott.
Oh my God.
And his parents cursed him. How did you hate your baby so much?
Yeah, that's brutal. All right.
Camelot.
We have time for, if you got a really quick one, I just need a hyper quick. Oh, James Flinders.
Yeah.
Come to my table.
Yeah.
That's a longer one, yeah.
Mormon musical.
I starred in a Mormon musical when I was a teenager called Saturday's Warrior. Soundtrack
What a
is
name.
available. It was a wonderful time in my life, and kind of like a Pippin, but it was a huge success. Traveled all over the West, sellout crowds, 5,000 people and stuff. Really fun time in my life. And
That's
I
awesome.
Took his name. But so I have a request. On the count of three, we're going to shout Turtle Power.
Okay.
For starters.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Turtle Power! Now Liquid is going to shout Snake.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Snake! And then He-Man is going to say what? 1, 2. We're start as Prince Adam. I'll be Prince Adam. By the power of Grayskull. Ready? I have the power!
Hey, I hope everybody had a good time. Give it up for Cam Clarke.
Thank you, guys. What a blast. Are these guys great?
Aw.
Will you guys do all my panels?
Sure,
moving
yeah.
forward?
Everybody go listen to Metal Gear Mondays. Thanks, guys.
So it actually might just be a good time to queue up Allie. What do you think?
Let's do it, dude.
Let's do it. So Allie was a volunteer at PRGE, helped wrangle the lines for Colin and Bethan and took pictures for them, worked with Cam and did the same thing over there and was bouncing back and forth, like we said. Great energy, cheerleader for the entire weekend, wonderful human being.
Very, very, very dedicated Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes, very much so.
Free company owner and manager. Like, it's crazy. I've never seen something like this before.
Yeah. So definitely thankful to Allie for all the work she did, all the time she put in, all the pictures she took, all the energy she gave, and now for the friendship. So thank you very much, Allie. And here she is.
Allie, can you say money in a gremlin voice for me?
Money.
There it is. I just needed that recorded. This whole thing is free time.
Thank you. Interview over.
That's amazing.
I am so glad I didn't scare you away after that. I was just like complete unfiltered happiness, I guess. I mean, the convention itself, there were so many highlights, but it was a little icing on the cake.
A little throwback. Yeah.
It was high key my favorite moment, perhaps. So I just wanted to say, Allie, the entire weekend,
so much energy, so positive, so helpful, incredible, like just a beacon the entire weekend. And you maintained that energy the entire time. And then immediately going from that to money was like, I was like, what's happening? It was so funny.
It was amazing.
Phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I think I was on empty, I was on fumes, I guess, from the high of just, I don't know, we were doing like 8-hour, 9-hour days.
Like
together.
all on our feet the entire time.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know what definitely did not replenish our fuel reserves? It was the soupless soup dumplings that we had right after.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
They were
That was
so
a
bad.
travesty. I was looking forward to it. And I don't know, were they microwaved? Were
Yeah,
they...
it was something was going on. Come on,
I don't know.
Portland. Allie, if we start back at 1, can you introduce yourself and then tell us how you got involved with PRGE?
Sure. Yeah. So hi, my name is Elisa, or Ali for short. My day job, I am a graphic designer / illustrator and art director for a small marketing agency in Northeast Portland. And I fell in love with it out of school because the CEO was actually one of the earliest, I guess, esports kind of players, and really is into gaming. And he kind of brought his love for design and that type of, I guess, industry into the clients that we get to work with. So get to touch upon gaming in certain ways whenever marketing promotional materials and maybe making videos or websites, and just being around like developers and other creatives is exciting to me, even though I don't get to make games or necessarily make art for it, which is something I'd like to do. But so that's what I do. And through that, I have a really awesome friend named Chris, who has been a huge part of PRGE and recommended me to help volunteer because he thought that I'd be a great fit in terms of energy and nerdum. And on top of that, it so happens that 2 voice actors from a game that I currently play, Final Fantasy XIV, a critically acclaimed MMORPG.
That you can play through Stormblood now up to level, what is it?
It's 70 for free.
Wow.
Yes, super fun.
It's one of my favorite memes, by the way. The critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV.
Huge fan. So yeah, Alice and Alphino, amazing people. Colin, Ryan, and Bethan, they were so cool. I was so happy to be able to be asked to go to such an event, but to work with someone I kind of I'm starstruck for was a bonus. And yeah, that's
also, especially because they were actually like incredibly cool people. Like it's very easy to be like, don't meet your heroes, and then they turn out to be disappointing. But like the exact opposite, they're fabulous people. So that makes it even better.
Yes, and I can only say great things.
Allie, the entire weekend, Allie, you were like bouncing between Bethan and Colin, and then over to Cam Clarke as well.
Now I didn't know anything about Cam Clarke until I, got the luxury, the opportunity to be in his orbit, the privilege. Oh my God.
Yeah, really. We're all living in his world.
He's the main character. I'm just an NPC.
Yeah, we found him, guys. We found the MC.
We did it. How did you feel about him telling us about how he figured out how to doom scroll and then saying our generation is doomed in the lobby of the hotel?
I was I thought that conversation was going to go in a totally different direction.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
But is he woke? Is he so he's just so cool that he can just make anything? I'll believe anything he says. He can go on any tangent about anything, and I'll be happy to listen.
So there's woke, and then there's what Cam became, which is awoken.
Oh my god.
His third eye opened while he was on Instagram. What's crazy is ever since that conversation in the lobby, he will randomly DM me just on Instagram now. And I'm like, every time I receive it, I'm just like, Cam, you gotta get off Instagram.
You gotta close. You gotta stop the doom
reels
scrolling.
and such. Like
please. Yeah, he did forward me a reel. So, Allie, what did you do other than, because like we only saw, like, I'm assuming the tip of the iceberg when you were absorbing the spirit of everyone in the building and becoming like a hyper energetic,
like a spirit bomb. Like I was just
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. But when you weren't doing that, were there other responsibilities that you had as a volunteer? Like, what did that look like?
Yeah. So, I was so, like you said, energized by the people, not only just on the volunteer side, but all the attendees, people who are cosplaying, and I could recognize, like, oh my gosh, like, that's that set from this game, or people just sharing their experiences and creating these art pieces. I got sucked into booths, having just amazing and wild conversations about their inspirations and why did they make this Solid Snake with this big booty. I'm like, I was like, whoa, like I need this, I need that. I was like blessed but also saddened that I didn't bring like enough cash to just like want to buy everything. But that was only in between the times where I had a little bit of a lull, I suppose. And I was like, okay, what do other booths, what do other people need at this time? And I kind of ran around bringing waters, pens, Sharpies, helping out with kind of just organizing and seeing like the behind the scenes, behind the curtain, working with the organizers of the event, which is just kind of a really cool perspective. I didn't have any intention or really instruction on like doing that, but it was more so like I legitimately had interest and a desire to help the collective of us nerds just trying to let other nerds have fun. We want to try to make it work as smooth and as best as we can with the resources we had. So I was floating. I was and probably making a lot of people uncomfortable because I was really excited to just chat about what they brought to get signed.
By all means, if you want to plug anything, if you want to say goodbye.
Yeah.
No.
Amazing.
Till next time.
Solid.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh wait.
Oh.
Wasn't there like some sort of Squarespace ad, MeUndies?
I just wanted you to say money.
Yeah, money? Yeah. Okay. Give me your money.
Money.com/money.
Okay. We're done.
I love it.
Had a good time with Allie. Like we mentioned in the interview there, we went out after this whirlwind of an end of a fucking Sunday. We went out to
PRGE Galleon.
Yeah.
PRGE.
We went out to dinner at Bao Bao with Allie and Alex and
listener
Kyle.
Kyle and his wife Casey.
And his wife Casey.
They made us sign a copy of Metal Gear Solid, and I have never felt both honored and also like I'm a disappointment more in my entire life.
It is interesting. Kyle is great. Casey is great.
Casey's Kyle.
Casey is
no.
No, very, very cool to meet them. This is the first time
they came to the camp panel too, by the way.
They did come to the camp panel. This is the first time me and Alessio have met a listener of the show without first befriending them. Generally. And so it was just like they live in Portland. They came to the convention to see us and had us sign their copy of Metal Gear Solid, the original.
And much like the vein of everyone who owns that original CD copy for the PlayStation, stepped on the case and cracked it. Yep. I don't know a single fucking human being who doesn't have a crack in their Metal Gear Solid box.
Yeah. I had a crack in my Metal Gear Solid box for sure.
Yeah. I also heard a story while we were running the table. Somebody was telling Cam, yeah, I had a copy of Metal Gear Solid, but my parents wouldn't let me have it, so I hid it from them. And I was like, how many of us are there?
Kyle said to me when I signed it, I don't know, I can't remember if you were there, if you were off doing something, but when he came to me to have me sign it.
Did he whisper, "You're my favorite one" to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he didn't say that to me.
He said, "You're my favorite one, Chocolate Bear." Yeah. No, he said I wasn't able to get Cam to sign it, but I was here for you guys anyway. What? What? That's wild.
Yeah.
So
madness. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you got something out of that, Kyle. It was a pleasure.
Hi, this is Kyle
and Casey
from Portland, Oregon. And we went to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Super fun. And we went to the Clarke interview / game show / panel. Full house. Cam had us all singing with him and chanting, and Alessio and Sam and Cam are like old buddies. The back and forth was like
it was great. Yeah,
wonderful.
Felt like old friends.
Felt like it was rehearsed. It was so good. So after the panel, I met Alessio and Sam. Casey encouraged me to go say hi, and got to shake Cam's hand. He didn't know who I was, and had to explain I'm just some guy and not creep him out too much. So that was great. And it was a great day, and I was so happy to meet them, and they were so nice, and it went well beyond my wildest expectations. So
couple things
okay.
I want to say about the Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2024. As not a big gamer, I've never actually played any Metal Gear. However, I have watched a shit ton of it.
I did try to get her to the elevator in the first part of MGS1.
Okay, so maybe I played for like a minute anyway.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm getting to.
It was a massive failure.
I play only Nintendo, and I play like Tetris and Super Mario 3, and that's that. But at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2024, I got to play a like little miniature, like maybe a foot tall arcade game. This dude, I don't know, I think he makes them, and they're
you can cut all this out.
Operational, and it's amazing. And I got to play a little mini Pac-Man with this like 2-finger little joystick, so cute.
So anyway, I wanted to send this to you guys. I had delusions of making this like a song or doing something skit-wise interesting, but then I listened to you guys' last episode, which I had been saving forever because maybe I just didn't want to, admit it was over kind of thing. And I listened to it after meeting you guys and hearing Liquid Metal Mike. Yes, honey, that's one of the people. And a bunch of the other people's skits and Collins and well wishes and all the sweet things everybody said made me a little gun shy. So instead of doing a bunch of cool shit, we're just doing this instead. But I just wanted to say you guys are awesome and you guys are so sweet, and I love Isaac and James too, and all the other hosts.
So it was great to meet you. Fun hanging out. You guys are super funny and cool, chill people.
And
happy to have met.
Last thing, Sam, I made you laugh like a little bit. I wish I could have made you laugh more, but nobody can make you laugh like Isaac, and it's so sweet. And, it's just a box. Good luck on your future endeavors. And Matt Campbell's my boyfriend. Oh, and my hand!
So lastly, it felt like we should have a representative from PRGE staff talk to us a little bit more about PRGE and how this year went and thoughts on the future. And so this is us speaking with Sean Harrington. At the time that we're recording this right this moment, I do not know Sean's official title. I'm sure it will come up in the interview.
Yep.
I don't know if it was due to Sean's input device. I can't remember if he used AirPods or not, but just a quick heads up. But there is quite a bit of static in the raw recording, kind of like the Final Fantasy panel. I tried my best to EQ it out, clean it up, but there's still going to be some remnants of that. So just a heads up. Without further ado, this is Sean closing out our interviews for this episode.
My name is Sean Harrington, and I'm the graphic designer for the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, but I also help with a lot of the show management and planning and booking panels. We've got a pretty small team, so we all wear a lot of hats, and so I tend to just help the show in any way that I can.
It was super lovely working with you and just kind of communicating as things went on. So I just wanted to say thanks before we continue.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Well, you guys were great, and I've heard nothing but good things about the panels that you guys did. I got an email this morning with kudos for the Final Fantasy 14 panel that you guys did, and and then of course, Cam told me that it was the best panel that he's ever done, and he was very sincere about that. So that was great. That was great to hear. So you guys were excellent in your hosting, and I can't wait to go and watch those panels and listen back to that.
I am curious. So like 2024 this year, correct me if I'm wrong, but like this is the first year that you guys kind of opened things up to have like kind of voice talent and some more kind of like familiar faces, I guess. How did that go over? I guess both internally and externally for you guys.
Well, to answer your question, yes, it was. To answer the first part of your question, yes, it was the first year that we had branched out into voice actors. It's something that we have been wanting to do, but it was kind of a difficult process to get going, just because getting into booking voice actors required a learning curve and some hurdles to get over. So once we were able to connect with agencies and representatives, we then started having the conversation about who we would want to include, who we'd want to bring in, because so our show celebrates retro gaming, and retro gaming has a very wide definition. So for us, we consider any system that is no longer being supported to be retro. And so, for example, PlayStation is still supporting PS4 with of course the PS5. So for us, PS3 is retro. Mm-hmm. So anything of that era could be considered retro. And so when we were looking at voice actors to bring in, we were looking at the history of gaming. And so we brought in voice actors from Space Ace and Dragon Slayer, which, those games came out in the early 1980s. Mm-hmm. And then we were looking at Mario voice actors who had worked on games from early 2000s. But then, of course, we're looking at Cam Clarke, who is just a legendary voice actor.
Voice of everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And his career spans decades. And so you can really, whatever generation you grew up in, you can find something that Cam Clarke worked on that you're going to connect with. Mm-hmm. And so, and then of course, with the Final Fantasy actors, Colin Ryan and Bethan Walker, they're connected to a Final Fantasy game that started in what we consider the retro era, but has continued on into the modern era. So we really tried to cast a wide net because our audience is really diverse. And our audience, different members of our audience have a different definition of what they consider to be retro.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is there anything regarding 2025's event that you want to let people know now? Is there anything that whoever's listening should take into consideration if they're wanting to buy tickets? Like what's the best plan for next year for somebody who might be interested in attending?
Well, for next year, our show will take place on October 17th through October 19th. Tickets will be going on sale soon. In terms of announcements, we don't have anything official that we can announce yet. Only that we are, our goal every year is to build and expand and innovate and improve. So if this year was a really big year for us. We accomplished a lot of goals. We're really proud of how the show was received and what went into the show this year. But for Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2025, we are so excited to just present our best year ever. And that's always the goal, really. But I think we learned so much in 2024 that I think everybody's really optimistic about building on it. Nice. Really, in every aspect.
Well, Sean, this has been excellent. A lot of good stuff. Is there anything before we wrap things up? Is there anything you want to promote or plug, not only for PRGE, but maybe any sort of creative projects you've got going on that might sort of be of similar ilk?
I would just say for people who are curious about the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, you can find us online at retrogamingexpo.com. We're on social media. We'll be making some announcements soon, but we will also be releasing videos of the panels. So if you were unable to attend, or if you want to go back and watch a panel that you were able to attend, those should be online shortly.
Yeah, so I think so we've recorded this not after we've talked to Sean. I don't know how much we're allowed to say about 2025.
Yeah.
But I will just say that there is a greater than 0% chance. I'd say probably greater than 80% chance that we will be at PRGE. I mean, there's 100% chance probably that we're going to be at PRGE, period.
Yeah.
But there's a very high percentage chance that not only will Metal Gear Mondays be there officially in some form or fashion, but there may be some more interesting show-related panels happening. I will let your imagination run away with itself.
Mm-hmm. And in this event, we will be packing Isaac in our suitcase with us. So
correct. Sam, how crazy is it that we've put out an episode every Monday since 2016?
I know, how crazy. And we haven't ever missed a week or gone on any breaks ever.
It's crazy.
Yeah, how wild.
I think it was 2015, but anyway.
That's the shadow year. We don't talk about the shadow year.
Yeah.
We remastered the shadow year.
That's true. We did do that. Yeah, I don't know. Those PRGE, man. I'm going to be riding high off of the body high that I got that past weekend for a while. It was really good. I had a really good time.
Yeah. It was legitimately so much fun.
I am looking forward to next year's, if all goes well. Hope to see more of you guys at PRGE.
Yeah.
Not just because we want the Expo to do well financially, but because it is really nice to actually see people who listen to the show. I don't know. It's just kind of what Sam was saying. It's like even just seeing the amount of people that were seated during our two panels.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it just kind of adds an interesting element when you're used to like just facing a wall and talking into a microphone. So yeah, come see us at PRGE, help make the show feel more real, and we'll be there waiting. And I think that's all I got, Sam.
Yeah.
I will say though, there was something that I meant to do. Something to do with like, didn't your Evil Zone game have like a fucked up case or box or something?
Yeah, it did. But I mean, it because of that, it wasn't, just a thing, it was broken, so we can't really use that. But do you remember when we were wrapping up on Sunday and we were helping Colin and Bethan clean up all of their prints?
Oh, yeah.
And they were just like, we were organizing them and stuff, and they was like, hey, where should we put these? And then Colin was like, oh, if you look under the table.
No, he pointed us to a big stack of prints, and he said, you guys don't need to sort them. Just put them all in that one spot right there, and I'll take care of it later. And I said, oh, okay. And then I said, Sam.
Yeah.
How
is it that we've been doing this podcast for such a long time, and we still can't manage to do this effectively? We have not, I don't think, a single time.
Well, I did
done
mine.
this.
I did mine on purpose.
I know. I did. I was trying to. Hey!
Sam, don't put me in a box, okay? Just don't.
Well, what else am I gonna do? It's just a box.
Just a box.
My mic sounds nice. Check one. All right.
My mic sounds nice. Check two.
My mic sounds nice. Check three.
Fuck yeah. Beastie Boys references. I forgot Alex hates the Beastie Boys.
Oh, no.
It's true.
Yuck. Okay. What does this sound pad do? Hello. Nothing. I think it's just for these guys.
Can I press one?
Go ahead.
Ooh.
Peanuts.
This is literally all we're gonna do.
That sucks so hard.
Welcome to the Autism Hour with the Beaver Boys.